Bow.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to 22 Panels. My guest tonight is the senior sales manager at Oni Press, Michael Torma. Torma to his friends and apparently also his wife.
Yeah. Yeah. Hi, how's it going, everyone? How are we feeling out there?
Uh,
Uh,
it's going good with me.
yeah, right. Thanks for having me on the
Everyone is
show.
probably my mom, my brother, Britt, and John. If we get lucky, a few other people.
Perfect. Well, hi. I'm Michael Torma. If you ever have like a family dinner, please invite me. I would like to be there. And
Okay,
yeah.
I'm
Uh,
down with that.
yeah.
I mean, you got to come to Chicagoland.
I'll come to Chicago. I had family. They just moved closer to us, but I might be out there for C2E2. So,
Well, I
when
mean,
is
if you
that?
are, you need to talk to me because I have a panel that I could plug you into pretty easily.
Well, there you go. When is C2E2? Is it February?
It's the 27th to the 29th of March.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
we'll
it is the same weekend as I want to say Mocha and the
mm,
Southern California con that's not San Diego Comic Con. Galaxy Con, does that sound right?
that sounds right to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not Galaxy. What is it? I can't remember. Um
But
but
yeah,
Mo
no, I was kind of disappointed when I was looking at the beat one morning. I'm like, really? We're up against all of those? So I can't get my indie people to come in because they need to be over at the other one. And half of
right?
my friends from California, rather than coming to Chicago, they're gonna sleep in their own beds at night.
Right? Yeah. Like why travel across the country and freeze when you could be in beautiful, beautiful Chicago?
I mean,
California.
Chicago's pretty awesome.
I've only been there once or twice, honestly, and I loved it. I thought it was great. Good food, nice
I always
people.
say, Chicago's known as the second city.
Yeah.
And I always say, okay, but here's the thing. It's the second city in everything. Like better theater scene in New York, sure, but then it's Chicago.
Yeah.
Better music scene in Seattle, sure, but then it's Chicago. Better
Right.
museums in Washington D.C., sure, but then it's Chicago.
Yeah. Better food in New York? Sure, but then it's yeah.
Maybe people debate whether it's New York or L.A., which almost makes me say I think Chicago's actually one, and New York and L.A. are tied for two.
Yeah, I to be honest, I mean in terms of pizza, New York
Oh,
has
pizza,
yeah.
pizza, don't you dare.
I can't I won't do it on here. I'm a huge pizza guy. And I love the
If you start telling me Chicago style pizza is like pie or some shit like that, we might have to
no,
end
no.
this con.
I am not one of those dudes. I Pizza comes in many forms, and I support the whole spectrum of
Okay.
pizza out there.
Okay.
Except what is it? There is the oh God, I can't remember it. It's in PA. It's in it's not what is it? Platoon or something, PA. It's the weirdest looking pizza. It's dough with sauce and then American cheese thrown on it, salami, and
American
then
cheese.
American cheese slices thrown on it, and then green peppers underneath the cheese. And I'm sure altogether on a sandwich that's not that bad, but to
Okay.
call it a
See,
pizza,
I'm going to say something right now. American cheese is the wrong cheese for anything.
yeah, it's just plastic. It's good for like
It,
a doorstop or something.
it, 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 it is if you have specific personal childhood memories tied to it, acceptable for grilled cheese sandwiches, but
Yeah.
you will never call them gourmet grilled cheese sandwiches.
No.
And that is literally its only purpose.
Yeah. It's just for
Except white American does melt really well, so you can make a good queso with it.
ooh. Okay. I didn't realize that. I am not as much of a chef as I would have liked.
Right.
I put it I
That's exception to the rule, and
yeah,
you're mixing in like peppers and red pepper, and
and
so
some
it's not
tomato and
just
yeah, it's not just the cheese.
it's
Um
the base of something else.
it's the vehicle for another vehicle, for the chips, for the dip, for the bread, the
Right.
quesadilla, whatever. No, Altoona pizza style. Um,
Okay.
Look it up. It's insane.
At least it's not Scranton because like Scranton Comics on the Green is where they introduced me to Saga, so I will take no
Ooh.
bad talk about Scranton.
No, yeah, Scranton's great. Yeah, I need to get over there. Um, yeah, I need to travel
Um,
more. That's what I want to do.
I've actually like I was so happy to be able to get in touch because I'd been trying to track down an email address since you got your gig. I went, oh my God, Torma, because
Yeah,
your picture was on, you were in Publishers Weekly and you were in the Beat. And I'm like, I know that guy.
I know this dude.
Like, for those of you who aren't my mom or brother and haven't actually listened to every episode, if you go way back to March of, I think it was 2022.
No,
Yeah, it was March of 2022.
okay.
I took my ill-advised 22 panels comic shop tour
Yeah,
because my wife and I had separate spring breaks. So I spent 10 days in and hit I think 30 shops
it's amazing.
in 11 states.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
one of them was Third Eye, where I met you,
Yeah,
interviewed you. So this is actually your second time on the air, just the first time where we talked like in depth rather than me just asking you questions onto my phone and then editing it in later.
right.
Um and then when we came through, my wife and I came through again a year or two later, we stopped in and you actually recognized me and that made me feel
Yeah.
oh so special.
Well, that was the superpower that I had. I mean, it's
Right.
I think that's why I got picked up by Oni is because I like talking to people. I like being
Right.
a comic book guy. I a little bit about me, right? Like you said, Tad, I worked at Third Eye for years. And uh growing up, comics weren't as big as they were today. So when I found a comic book shop, I always got excited and I went into one shop and I remember I saved $100 and I was going to buy Hulk comic books and I was super stoked. I remember I went to the guy at the counter and I was like, "Hey, where's your Hulk comic books?" And like he looked at me and he blew me off and he turned on a little TV, like an old CRT that was on the counter and just started watching like TV and I'm just like I'm confused. I'm like a 10-year-old
I
old
hate shops
kid.
like that. I
Yeah,
hate shops like that.
right?
The only
And
ones worse are the ones that do that to the women or the
yeah,
people of color who walk in.
right. And just blow them off and it's like
It's like, oh, you don't belong here. Go
you don't read
away.
comics. Yeah, get out of here. So
I mean,
I
with the kids, it's also bad because it's like they assume you don't have any spending money. It's
yeah,
like, where are
like
your parents? Get out of my store.
what are you
No
doing in
loitering.
here? Yeah, get out. And I don't know. I hated that feeling. And so whenever I talk to someone in a comic book shop or talk to anybody anywhere now, it's just comics are for everybody. So everybody should
Right.
feel welcome and, should be stoked about what I'm stoked about. Like that's what I take into it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me how Oni Press picked you up.
So, funny
How
enough,
did that happen? Because again, I like if you go back, I mean, you probably remember when you got hired better than I do, but if you go back and listen to episodes from when you got hired, I think at least 3 weeks in a row it came up that I needed to
yeah,
track you down.
yeah, that's amazing.
You got to, I mean, I think it was a news item one week.
Yeah, yeah. I was on Bleeding Cool. It was me and then Sierra Hahn, who just got hired as well.
Which
Um,
I need to talk to her because I have heard only amazing things from the creators working under her.
yeah, she's amazing.
Um,
She's
you know,
super kind, super
Peter
smart.
Krause and Chris Cantwell talk her up, and yeah, Everybody who I see that you're wearing like the EC Hawaiian shirt, which I didn't know existed, and I don't wear Hawaiian shirts,
It
but
it's a bootleg. It doesn't exist. I had it custom made. It's the only one in
okay.
existence.
So it's a one of
Um,
a kind. I
it's a
get
one of a
that.
kind. Yeah,
I'm married to an art teacher. I have lots of one of a kind
there you
t-shirts and
go.
sweatshirts. She,
And
she screen prints them.
oh, that's
See,
amazing.
see, I have a
Old man yells at cloud. It's so good. It's the best. Um, but yeah, no, how did they get me? Well, so Hunter Goranson, who's the president, he was working at Valiant at the time, years ago when Exo Manowar
right,
first like hit during the new relaunch, right?
right.
And I think this is maybe like
I
20,
was about to say it had to be the relaunch because it was Jim
yeah.
Shooter who was running Valiant when it like hit, and that B like both of us were young kid. I'm assuming you're younger than me or my age. I could be wrong. You've got a hard age to peg, but
I got a hard everything to peg. Like
but but yeah, no. Exo Man of War like broke in what, 1984?
yeah, no, not
you
so Hunter was
you mean
with
at
it.
least the second go round?
Yeah, the second go around the sun.
Maybe even the third go round, I forget.
Oh, well, if you're counting the acclaim stuff, which I just try to
Right,
forget. Yeah. So like
right.
first it was Shooter, then it was the acclaim, and then yeah, then it died for a while. And then when
Right.
it came back it was like 2011 maybe. No.
Yeah,
Yeah.
when they had like maybe 12 somewhere in there
hmm
where
Some
they had
somewhere in
Kent and
there.
Lapham
Yep.
and Jeff Lemire and
Louis LaRosa and all this stuff.
yeah,
Like
all sorts of
all sorts of greats.
yeah.
Good times. I had more hair back then. But no, Hunter was
What? I've
working.
never known you with hair. I assumed you were just born without hair.
I A lot of people do. But no, if you go back on my socials, you can find me. It's kind of the opposite. It's long, glorious hair like Conan the Barbarian, and then like lightning mutton chops, and it's
Oh,
great. It's pretty
okay.
cool. If I could
Uh,
still
so,
grow it.
so essentially, what you did is when you went bald, you decided to let the beard get longer.
Exactly. I need hair somewhere. I can't just be one big bald baby, you know?
You
Like
needed something to play with. So
exact.
when you stopped having the locks,
Right. It just grew to everything else. No,
now
Hunter was
does the
working at
super glue itch? Because I'm assuming that really it was just shaving it and then replaying.
the super glue just didn't work out. I tried it and it became too much too much like the oh God, what was was it Magic Mike? The little magnetic pieces that you can move around. Harry, the old magnet the
I
magnet
don't.
toy, no? You remember the guy with the big red
I think I
nose?
kind of know what you're talking
You know
about,
what
and
I'm
I can't
talking
remember
about.
right now.
Yeah. Let me see. Magnet,
I mean,
hair.
you could do. Did you ever
Wooly
see in?
Willy. That was it. Wooly Willy.
Did you ever see Inventing the Abbots?
I don't think so. No.
Had Joaquin Phoenix in it, and like he drew in sideburns to be like Elvis Presley for a party at one point. So I mean, you could just use Sharpie.
I it's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. For ALA this past year, it was in where was it? In Pittsburgh? Philly? It
That
was in
sounds
Philly.
right.
Yeah, it was in
Philly.
Philly. Yeah. So
It's
it
in
was close.
Chicago this summer.
I know. I'm gonna try to see if I can get out there, but we have enough staff in Chicago actually, so I think they won't need Torma over there, but
Well,
um
that's sad
I
because I would have
know.
bought you pizza.
And see, maybe I'll still go. They every year they say, Torma, I think we're okay. I don't think we need you.
And you say, but I'm the sales guy. You
Yeah.
guys aren't sales.
Well,
You're like
so
editorial and
yeah,
crap.
you're right. That's what I say. That's what I try to tell them. But
You make the comics. I
I
sell the
sell the
comics.
comics. They like a week or two before the show, maybe like a month actually, a month before the show, they'll be like, "Hey, Torma, you think you can make it to ALA?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I can make it to ALA, of course." No, but
I
Hunter was
haven't
working at
gone to an
Valiant.
ALA yet.
You should go to one. They're really
I
good.
want, well, the problem is like because I'm not a librarian, they're really
Mm,
expensive. If
yeah.
I could get my school to send me, that would be amazing. Now, I do have a publisher that put in a couple of panel requests and she put me as her preferred moderator. So cross
So,
my fingers. I
yeah.
get to go this year because I'm moderating a panel. That appears to be my best in. Either that or is your plus one.
Yeah,
One or
right.
the
Yeah.
other.
I'll drive up. I'll fit you in the suitcase.
I'll be your local staff.
It's perfect.
You know how bands have local crew? I mean,
Yeah.
ALA is where everybody walks out with what? 7 shopping carts worth of free books. So you
Oh,
need somebody to push one of your shopping carts.
absolutely. I've seen on the last day librarians running with has to be like 12 tote bags full of books
Yep.
and freebies, and it's like
Hmm.
the guns, the arms on these librarians
Yep.
is crazy.
I have
Yeah,
I know many librarians. I have librarians in the family. ALA
yeah.
is like their Christmas.
It's great. Yeah, it's I hadn't been to an ALA before Oni, and that's a bummer because it's such a great show and it's so fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I love going to shows and I love talking to people. So it's any show you put me at, I'm always gonna have a good time.
Well, that's why I've got you here.
Exactly. Yeah,
And
that's why
then I
I'm. Yeah,
interrupted you, and we didn't finish how they we managed to get to Hunter Goranson, and then we fell down
the
the
rabbit hole
Valiant rabbit hole.
of chats.
So so
Yeah. So
Hunter Goranson.
so Hunter was working at Valiant at the time, and him and Matthew Klein came down and they bought the whole staff pizza. And they were like, "Yeah, we're just going to talk to you about how you're selling comics and stuff." And, we're eating, we're having a good time. And he goes, "All right, well, I got to ask, how are you guys selling so many, so many Exo Manowar comics? You guys are selling more Exo Manowar than probably anybody else in the country." And everyone on staff just looks at me. And I'm like, "I don't know, man. I just love Exo Manowar. It's like Conan the Barbarian with a
Same way
lightsaber."
I used to sell so many Saga. You had one in your hands at all times, and when
Yeah.
somebody said, "What comic should I read?" you just handed it to them.
Yeah. Well,
And
it,
once
it
it was in their hands, you started making the pitch.
Exactly. Once they have it in their hands, that's half the battle won.
It's
And
like
then
75% of the battle, particularly
yeah,
if the book's actually good.
if it's really good, yeah. And that early Valiant stuff was amazing, I loved it. I thought it was great. To be honest, I haven't checked out too much of like the Valiant with like the Alien book stuff recently. But
I've read a few.
yeah,
They're not bad.
okay, good.
I
I need
mean,
to
really, I mean, my biggest thing with Valiant for the entire because I haven't read enough Valiant period, and really, it's just come down to I read too many damn comics.
there's so much. There's
So
so much out
squeezing
there.
in that new thing that's in a genre that I already read so many of that it's like I really want to add a superhero book right now.
Yeah. Always add
I mean,
everything.
but when it was the last Valiant and it was an Exo Man of War.
Hmm.
The last Valiant that I absolutely read was when it was Cloonan writing for Liam Sharp.
Ooh, that was fun. Clune wasn't on there too long though, was she?
No, it
Like,
was just like a 6 issue
yeah,
miniseries.
it was 6 or 7 issues.
Something like that. It
Mhm.
was Cloonan and Conrad writing for Liam Sharp. It was Liam's first work after
The DC Brave and the Bold.
Starhenge.
Oh, the Starhenge. Yeah.
And I just saw your face light up. So you and I are the two.
Yeah, that red Starhenge. Yeah. Yeah, well, Liam.
Which so, I mean, I know we're not quite the two because I was so frustrated at sales that and I even Liam was pleased that I did this. I sent him pictures.
Nice.
I bought at my local comic shop, like I paid for the cost on I think 5 copies of each of issues 1 through 3 to bundle and say sell at the price of one issue, so it was 3 for 1, and
Oh,
and
okay.
and he didn't lose any money.
Yeah.
And we put and my wife made up the thing that says compliments of 22 panels, read 3 issues, subscribe,
Yeah, 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 yeah. That's
because
awesome.
that's how much I loved that book. And I wanted to drive sales in any way I possibly could.
Well, you have to do something different, Like
Yeah.
there's so much noise this like these days on everything that it's like how do you we've gone from this like kind of mono culture and where it's like, oh, you put out an article and like everybody sees it. Now a lot of these hobbies have become these like silos where
Right.
people are, they're sharing with people inside their own like little niches, but at the same time, it's like you can't
Well,
send
and
a
let's
message.
let's let's face it, it's never been easy to sell a comic that wasn't Marvel, DC, and really not Superman, Batman, or Spider-Man or
Right.
X-Men. I,
Right.
I mean, there over the last 50 years, there have been 4 titles that sell consistently no matter what, and
Yeah.
everything else is trying to take whatever part of the market share they can get in the medium that is more overlooked than any other medium.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Name a medium other than comics where people say, I don't like this medium.
The first thing that came to
I
mind, and
don't like moving pictures. I don't
yeah,
like the written word. Nobody
I,
ever says that.
nobody says that. The first thing that came to mind was Broadway, but like,
But
some people
even
like,
then,
yeah,
not many people will say I don't like theater blanket across the board.
yeah, yep, yep,
They might say I don't like musicals.
yeah,
They might say I don't like comedies.
right.
I mean, again, I get somebody who says I don't like superheroes.
Because they at least
Just
can
like
read some, yeah,
Right.
something
Just like
else.
I get the person who says, I don't like fiction. I only like to read nonfiction. Or I get the person that says, I only like horror movies. Or I can't stand romantic comedies. Now, for the record, I am the exact reverse. I don't like horror movies and I love a good rom com. But
Oh, right on. Okay, yeah. I like being surprised by rom-coms. I love horror movies. I love sci-fi, but
I can
every,
only do horror in comics.
really,
And I figured it out. I spent a lot of
yeah.
time, it would be particularly because my son loves horror. So, like, there was the time where he was just always trying to get me to watch or read something that I really didn't
Yeah, you're
want
just
to
like
watch or read.
but I cannot do this. Yeah.
So I was actually, I think, Nailbiter. I had a lot of customers that
Ooh,
liked Nailbiter, and I'm like, okay,
yeah.
this is a horror comic. I'm gonna give it a try because maybe, and I figured it out. In a horror movie, the director and editor decide how much time I spend with the parts that I don't want to spend any
Mm,
time with. In a horror book, the writer decides how much time I spend with the parts that I don't want to spend any time with.
yeah.
In a comic, I go, oh, guts all over the place, flip.
Yep.
I decide how much
Yeah.
time I spend with the parts.
You have that control. It's not
Right.
the
It's
what is
like,
it?
okay, all information I need has been gotten.
Yeah, that's all I need. Guts.
I
Got
don't
it.
have
Got
to
it.
fast forward. I don't have to skim. I just need to turn the page.
Well, it's like oh gosh. It's like going to like a haunted house, right? And
Oh,
like
I
somebody
hate
jumps
haunted
out and
houses.
I
I
love
hate
haunted
haunted
houses.
houses.
Yeah, yeah,
My
yeah.
son
But
too. But
yeah, yeah, yeah. But you go and the scare actors, they stay with you and they'll be like, ah, and you can get scared and they'll still like creep on you. Like
right.
you don't have that
Yeah.
control over what happens to you. And I never thought of it like that. But yeah, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. You give me I consume just about every single kind of comic. I don't really have capes and cowls are
Yeah.
still my bread and butter, but I read everything. Horror,
Yeah.
um
I mean I've become really picky about my capes and cowls.
oh yeah? Anything
I
good
have.
recently that you've really liked?
I mean, you know how much I love Tom King.
Yeah, just a little
So,
bit.
I mean, I'm still reading. But honestly, the best superhero book right now is Absolute Martian Manhunter,
Yes.
hands down.
So
And
good.
like crazy because it's the second best Dennis Camp book.
Yeah. It's
And the
I
Ultimates is pretty good too.
Yeah, Ultimates is really, really good. Like I I've been picking up Ultimates, I've been picking up Absolute Martian Manhunter. And it's
Absolute Martian Manhunter is must read. Daredevil is the character I can never not get, and I'm looking
okay.
forward to Stephanie Phillips.
That'll be good.
I love Stephanie's work. Endeavor right now is amazing. Um,
I need to get caught up
that's her
on Daredevil
distillery book.
stuff. Yeah. Endeavor is really good. I need to read more Distillery. I read
They haven't
Spectrograph and
they
Soma.
haven't missed yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
Their stuff has
both
been solid.
Distillery and Bad Idea have just like, you know,
Yeah.
um,
I've been reading
both.
Hulk. Hulk's been really good.
I haven't been reading Hulk right now.
Yeah.
But I've heard enough things that I imagine I'll read trades at some point.
Yeah.
That's really how I do a lot of superhero stuff now, is like if I'm still hearing about it a year later, I'll go pick up the trade.
Yeah. I'll read it.
Or
I'll
or or I maintain both DC Universe and Marvel Unlimited subscriptions. So it's like, oh, everybody's been talking about this. Let me go binge some of it.
Yeah, let me go read some of this
Um,
Hawkeye or whatever.
right. I am loving Kelly Thompson and Hayden Sherman on
Absolute Wonder
Absolute Wonder
Woman.
Woman. I
Yep.
mean, it's so weird to me that as much as I love Tom King's Wonder Woman, I don't know if it's my favorite Wonder Woman right now. It depends on how much Lizzie is in the book.
Yeah. It's I mean Tom
Because I
King's Wonder
fucking
Woman.
adore Lizzie.
Yeah, Lizzie is so good. I No, Tom King's Wonder Woman book is amazing,
Right.
but it just happened to happen at the same time as Absolute Wonder Woman, and
Right.
that feels like something pulled straight from the ether of the
Right.
universe, you know? Like,
Well, I mean, and that's there are a number of writers that I will read anything they do,
yeah,
and Kelly's one of them. Um, there's another class of writers where I'll read anything they do except their superhero stuff.
okay,
And it's not even that I don't think their superhero stuff will be good. It's that like I read 30 to 50 comics a week
yeah.
plus old trade paperbacks and whatnot. I gotta cut somewhere.
Oh yeah. No, I mean I'm in my basement right now and
Oh, I could see.
yeah, that's those are only a few shelves. You can't even see like the other ones over here and then
Right.
I have
Right.
the omnibuses right over here. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
plus I have a waterfall rack of all like the Oni stuff. Like it's yeah. Oh yeah, it's nuts. It's
This is
nuts.
this is my bedroom. I have
Yeah.
more in other rooms.
It's a
And
collection.
never mind the short and long boxes. Those are
Right.
just
Oh,
those are just collections.
yeah.
Collections and OGNs.
Oh wow. Okay.
Most of those are actually not even collections. Most of those are just OGNs.
Wow.
Which is
Man.
my other problem is like I really love long form.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
So it's like if you're trying to find time, it's like, oh, I've got I've got this 2-inch stack of comics this week and 1,000 pages of new graphic novels that came in,
Yeah.
and Tucker from Fantagraphics just sent me 10 PDFs of things that won't come out for 3 or 4 months, but fuck, they do good.
Yeah, but they look awesome. Yeah.
Right?
Hey, that's great though.
I mean,
Yeah.
very first world problems. Don't get me
Of
wrong.
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
Good problems to
this is
have.
how even when I love somebody like Jeff Lemire, I've read like the first issue of Absolute Flash. That's
Yeah.
all I've read because I just haven't had time. And once you're 2 or 3 issues behind, it's like, well, I'll binge it
I'll
sometime.
I'll wait for the trade or whatever.
I'll binge it
Yeah.
sometime.
Well, it's funny you bring that up because I think a lot of people find themselves going to that like, you know, that route when it comes to reading comics, right? Like
Mhm.
people, and you can speak to this, but I think people have maybe two or three series a month that they really, really like and get in like single issues. And then you'll get like, they might have five or six that are like, okay, these are ones that I just read for a while. I'll keep reading them. And then I've noticed more and more people, actually in the last like few months, more people have been kind of bouncing back to singles. But
I
for a
think it
while
goes
it was,
both ways. I think
yeah.
the most successful stores
Hmm.
make certain they cater to both.
Well, of course. Yeah, yeah. A
You
supermarket
know,
isn't going to just have just vegetables. They have vegetables and meat and fruit,
right.
like, um,
I mean, it drives me up the wall when I'm at the stores that it's like their graphic novel and collection section is weak because I'm sitting there going, if you've got to have something that's weak, shouldn't it be the monthlies that have a much shorter shelf life?
well, I mean, so it really depends on each shop. Like that's so
Yeah.
my job, I talk to comic book shops all day and all week and like try
Yes,
to,
we were going to get to that.
oh
Tell
yeah,
me
it's
that was
fine.
the other reason. I like we try to talk to everybody. I've talked to editors. We've had five different letterers on 22 panels. I've never
That's
had a sales
amazing.
manager. So,
Oh wow.
Michael,
Yeah.
Torma,
Torma
what do sales managers for presses for comic
for
book
Oni
companies
Oni
do?
presses
Yeah,
do. Yeah,
Oni Press. Yeah.
well, so it's great because every single sales manager that I've talked to in comics has a different approach
Okay.
and a different way of like communicating what they do and their responsibilities. Most of what I do, and at Oni, I'm thankful that we have somebody dedicated to the book market, which handles the libraries and the ALA and stuff, and then someone who handles more of the direct market, and that's me. I do more of the direct market sales. I'll, talk to comic book shops. I send out emails. I'll visit shops, try to get them comps and things like that. But really, most of my time is talking to comic book shops, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, seeing what, seeing what like titles are doing well for them, what traffic is like, and kind of like coordinating all that into efforts and trying to, sell more Oni stuff, but at the same time, get more people reading comic books.
Yeah.
So I talk to shops where I'm like, "Hey, have you tried Oni?" And people are like, "We love Oni." And I've talked to shops that say, "I can't carry a single Oni book." There are some shops out there that,
Which I mean, anybody who thinks they can't. I'm sorry. Anybody who thinks they can't carry a single Oni book or really a single book from any publisher with that isn't single genre
yeah.
hasn't looked through the catalog carefully enough.
Well, if I could get into some of those shops, I would try, to add the Torma magic to it. But I've talked to some shops and they'll say
Yeah.
like, "Oh yeah, we just do just back issues," or
Yeah.
we don't really do too many graphic novels. We
Well,
do, yeah.
I mean, what I will say, and I also strongly believe this: comics are a niche enough market
Hmm.
that if you can't hand sell it, you shouldn't buy it unless you already know who's buying it from you.
Yeah.
Um, Particularly if you're a smaller store, which almost all of them are.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if literally you don't like anything from the Oni catalog, then maybe you shouldn't. But I don't know how you could go just flipping through here right now, and it's like, I mean, aside from famous things like Scott Pilgrim and The Sixth Gun and Sheets and Rick and Morty,
Yeah.
like if none of those work for you and you can't do Add a Gun, you know,
Yeah. Like hey,
Destroyer of Gods, you can't do any of the EC books. Didn't you guys do you guys did Meat Eaters, didn't you? The
yeah,
Meredith McLaren book?
yeah,
Right.
we
That was my
did.
number two book of the year.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I love
I
that
love
book. Yeah,
Meredith's
yeah.
work, and that's her masterpiece so far. I say so
Yeah.
far because it seems like everything she does is a step up.
Meredith was amazing.
I
What is it?
adore
Meredith
Meredith.
Meredith was at ALA last year. I got a chance to talk to
I
him.
believe that.
Um and yeah, they were great. I love meat eaters. It reminds me of like Santa Clarita Diet. It's such a good book. And I think it did. I think people dug it too. There's a lot of really, really good talent and work coming out of Oni. And you're preaching to the choir, Tad, where I'm like, if I can't find you an Oni book that works in your shop, then I got to be talking to like a fish market or something. I mean, heck,
Right.
I've gotten EC books in a liquor store.
Well, I mean,
Like
to be fair, I have walked into a shop and heard Alex Jones on the radio.
okay, yeah,
I don't know if there are any Oni books that would sell at that shop. I'm
probably not.
surprised that
Yeah,
any books sell at that shop.
yeah. I would
And I
question.
did wind up
Yeah,
getting a really good deal on Love and Rockets because they didn't realize they had them and almost wanted to get rid of them,
yeah.
which I mean, their loss, my gain.
Right? Yeah. Add it to the collection. Like that.
They're
That's
like,
the
I don't
silver
even know
lining
what this
right
stuff
there.
is. And I'm like, all right,
Let me
let me
let
just
me
take it off your
let
hands.
me get that for you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, and it's a shame when you come across a shop like that. But yeah, I try to go into every conversation, every talk and see like, okay, EC is not working for you, but Adventure Time is. So have you tried Agent Cupcake? Have you tried,
Right.
Dracula's Brunch Club? There's a book for everybody, and I staunchly believe that there's a book out there that everybody and anybody can and will enjoy, especially from Oni Press.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's definitely one of the more eclectic presses.
it very much
Um,
is. We
particularly since it rose from the ashes, because I mean,
Yep,
not long before you got hired, Oni was all but dead, and that's one of the reasons that it's been fun to watch over the last few years. Is that
yeah,
like, I mean, I know people who still aren't ready to go back to working for Oni just because of old experiences.
yeah,
And I want to make it clear that, like, I'm not saying that working for Oni is a bad thing now, because everybody I know who's worked for them in this new era, we'll call it the Hunter era. That's probably
yeah.
the best way to put it right now.
That's what I call it.
Um, has had only good things to say about the experience, but like they went through rough times. So to be able to come out of that swinging and on so many different angles, and I know this isn't like necessarily your side of the business, but it's just really impressive to watch,
Yeah,
because most of the time you see rebuilds have to be through like a genre rather that when I mean Boom never quite went into the ashes the way Oni did, but it also was never as big as Oni was before it finally got big. But like when they kind of built, they had to rebuild through Boombox. Nobody
yeah.
cared about the rest of their titles until they put out a solid slew of really good, middle
Yeah.
grade and YA titles. And then people went, oh, well, maybe we should pay attention to this again.
Maybe Boom has some good stuff. Yeah, yeah. No, and
Right.
I think yeah, I can't speak too much to like what happened before because I wasn't
Right.
here.
No.
But
But
all
you
I
were
can
selling comics, so
I
you
was,
saw it
yeah.
some on that side.
Oh
I
yeah.
mean, you didn't see the business side, and like I don't know all of the business side, and most of the business side that was bad was like way above the comic level. Everybody
Yeah.
knows about what happens when the corporate people start corporating.
Yeah.
Just put it that way. When the
The
corporate people start corporating.
corporate corporate things. Yeah. No, everybody currently at Oni loves to make comics and loves what
Yeah.
they do. Like we have a great team. I look forward, unironically, I look forward to like the company retreat every year because I get to see all these people that I consider my friends to like in
I
person,
mean, it's comics, and you don't have a massive corporate overlord, so I'm assuming it's like the Motel 6 in Scranton.
Yeah, it's
But
good.
with
It's
comic people, that's pretty cool.
right. Yeah, no, no, no. It's nice. I don't know. It's great because it's just like a mini con, right? But it's a
I'm
mini
sorry,
con of
I
people who
just
know
had to
inside
make the
jokes.
terrible comics joke.
No, no, it's good. It's good. I love it, and I'm here for it. Um, but yeah, no,
I'm
it's
certain they took you somewhere at least a little bit nicer than a Motel 6.
oh no,
Maybe it was the Residence Inn in Scranton.
it was a beautiful Hilton. No, no, we go to a gorgeous place. What is it? Oh God, where is it? What is it called? I was just looking at it, or they sent me an email. It's I
So the
can't remember
retreat's
it.
coming up.
No, the retreat's not coming up.
Oh, I just figured
Ska
they gotta.
Mania. There it is.
I figured they gotta. They were gonna do it tomorrow because they got a discount rate because of the winter storm.
Because of the storm. That's a good idea. No, it's
Hey, we're moving up the rate. We got a good
we
price
gotta
on
go.
rooms.
We gotta get yeah, great rate. No, it was Skamania Lodge, up in I think it's like in Washington, so it's near
Okay,
Portland, or it's like I don't know. I fly
very
into
cool.
Portland and it's like a hour drive. It's really nice.
No, that sounds beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. It's
And
awesome. It's
again,
really really
I'm
nice.
just, should your bosses be listening, this is just my weird humor at the end of a long school week.
Right? Yeah.
I love Oni Press. I love that you are. Yeah, I have it pulled up right. Well, I have the original pulled up on my screen right now, but I love that we've got the annotated genderqueer coming out this year.
Yep. 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 That's gonna be good.
I love that Oni stood behind that book.
Of course. Yeah, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, but
Well, yeah,
we
I get
say
what you're
of
saying.
course.
I
We
know in
say
my
of
head it's of
course,
course, yeah.
but when you're the center of book banning, I
Right.
mean it's not a book that was also banned.
No.
It was the one that freaking what John Kennedy from Louisiana was reading from on the floor of the Senate.
It's crazy.
Which
And
which by the way, I so wish that somebody had put the images up for that because the
yeah.
part he was reading, the images were her looking at her phone.
Yeah. No, it's I
It's like it becomes so much less dirty when you realize that she's just texting.
yeah. But that's not what, they want to have this message about like, blah blah blah
We
and it's
can't show this because it's a comic, and that's why it's so dirty. If it sounds dirty and it's a comic, just
it's a
imagine
comic.
how dirty it is. It's like, how about we not imagine? How about we look
Yeah.
at the pages?
How about you show us what you're talking about? Like
I mean,
yeah.
your comrade showed actual porn in a in a Marjorie Taylor Greene and the Hunter Biden days
Oh,
showed
yeah.
actual porn
That's right.
the other
Yeah.
day. So I mean,
Come on now. Yeah, no, it's very
you should
uh
be able to show a phone screen.
right. You should be able to just do that. But no, it's I say of course because of course it's an
Or an
important book.
androgynous character holding a fistful of grass.
Yeah, right? And that's what causes an uproar. That's what people get upset about. Like yeah, it makes no sense.
It's
Um
so it's just so oh, I hate it when the words don't come to me right. It's
it's
so
exhausting.
well, yes, it's definitely exhausting, but it's also hypocritical.
Oh yeah. I mean that's a whole other
Hypocritical is not even the word I'm looking for. It's disingenuous. It's so
deceitful,
disingenuous.
disingenuous. Yeah, it's a politician. Yeah.
It's either they literally don't know what they're talking about,
Yeah.
or they know what they're talking about, but they don't want you to know what they're talking about.
It's a politician, man. Yeah.
I mean, not all of them. And
Yeah.
we need to, and also, like, it's not required to be that way.
No.
I mean, I'm not trying to chastise you, but that's become one of my things. It's like if we look at if we sit there and just go, "Oh, that's politicians," well, then we'll keep having politicians like that. If that's the politician, don't vote for them. Vote for
Yeah.
somebody else.
Right?
If it
Yeah.
turns
Vote.
out that that other person is also like that, don't vote for them again. Vote
Yeah.
for somebody else. Keep doing it until you
Vote
get it right.
voting is important. Yeah, yeah. Remember that, kids. Voting is very important.
I feel like that's an Oni book too, is it? No,
Yeah,
no,
right.
it's first second that has the world citizen line,
Right. Yeah, yeah,
which
yeah.
I will plug, even though this is an Oni show,
No, plug
like
good comics.
World
This is
Citizen Comics
yeah, this is
should be in every school.
this is a Michael Torma episode. This is not
Okay.
just a Oni
Okay.
episode. So good comics. I
Well,
mean,
okay. I didn't know what your boss would think. I wanted to make it clear that that was 22 panels.
yeah, 22 panels. That was their pitch.
22 panels says go read World Citizen Comics. Learn about how democracy works in other countries, how it could work in this country. Learn about how the Constitution was written and what its fault lines are.
Yeah.
I mean, crazy things.
I need to check
Like
it out. I haven't read it.
you haven't read any there's a whole line of World
Oh.
Citizen Comics at first second. Here I'll pull it up and share my screen because if you don't know this, I definitely need
Oh.
to
No, no,
share with you.
I've seen this. I've
You know,
read What Unites Us. I've
yeah,
read Born
what
in the
unites us is
USA.
amazing.
Yeah.
Why the people?
I haven't read Why the People.
That's essentially it's a document or it's the case for democracy. It's the
Yeah.
case for why democracy is a good form of government,
Yeah.
as we
Why?
have
Yeah.
trouble with that sometimes.
Oh, damn. Yeah, I need
RE
to.
constitutions actually looks at constitutions from other countries. I mean,
Hmm.
our constitution is a great document, but here's the thing, like A, it's amendable for a reason.
Right.
B, what other thing that was created 200 years ago was never improved on? You know what other countries had as an advantage that we didn't have when they were writing their constitutions? They
Years?
had our constitution to look at
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
our strengths and weaknesses to look at, and they could go, hey, that thing they did, that was great. Ooh, this thing
Ooh.
over here, maybe we should tweak it a little bit.
Yeah. It's like what is it? It's like us doing the compact editions, for
Right,
DC, like seeing what
right,
Marvel and DC did for compact editions and then going, "Oh, you know what? The DC ones seem to be working a little better."
right. You know, fault lines in the Constitution is actually it's a history of the Constitution, and specifically like the things, and it's adapted. Some of them are adapted from non-comic books, but of the ones that I've read, both the comic and the non-comic, like this
Yeah,
one, I'll take the comic.
of
Um,
course. Yeah.
but
It's easier to
well, I mean,
read. Yeah.
not every comics adaptation is better,
Well,
but the
no.
ones
But
that try to be are.
I say of course because my brain works better with a comic book than it does with
Absolutely.
all the text. Yeah, yeah.
But if you don't actually make certain that you get the information or
Yeah.
you cut it down or whatnot, my point is they don't cut it down and my brain works better as a comic.
Perfect.
um, but like it like everybody forgets that the 13 colonies, we're going to call them a loose confederation. I mean,
Right.
let's just look at the basics. 6 of them liked slaves.
Yeah.
4 of them didn't own slaves, but didn't really have a problem with slaves. And
Yeah.
really only 3 of them said, we
Hold the
prefer not to
phone.
do the slave thing.
Yeah, what are we doing here, guys?
So there are massive parts of the Constitution that are like some form of compromise because they needed to get something on paper before the country fell apart.
Right. Yeah, they had to get some sort of foundation and some sort of base before they
There are
argued and fought about, yeah.
there are huge parts of the Constitution that are essentially Congress will decide. Unfortunately, some of those things that Congress was supposed to decide 250 years ago, they still haven't decided.
God. Yeah. I,
Congress
I
was supposed to define like the Supreme Court.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
They wound up letting the Supreme Court define itself.
Perfect.
They
Good.
still constitutionally could define. Like all it takes is an act of Congress and we could get rid of the shadow docket.
Oh, wow. Okay.
because Congress has the right to define the courts, including.
Yeah. Well, let's do it. Let's get it all.
I
Let's get it
agree.
going.
I mean,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong. There are certain things that we like require a constitutional amendment for or whatnot, but like the number of things that could still be done inside of our constitution that don't get done because there's just never been the political willpower because unfortunately we're a multinational state
Yeah.
as my the history teacher that's teaching the student that I'm working with would say, because like states are the lines in the governments and nations are groups that have shared language and custom and whatnot. So we're a multinational state, and those are the hard ones to like govern because
Because there's
we
so
really
many
do
different.
have different sets of values with
Yeah.
different groups of people, and we always have.
Well, it's like trying to get a bunch of your friends together to decide on a place to eat, you know? Everybody's gonna
Mhm.
have their own diets and their own concerns and own like uh I don't know, diets that they need to follow, you know?
Right.
Yeah. So I
Um,
get it. I didn't
but
realize that
yeah,
was still in
so
there. Yeah,
so
yeah.
there's a comic for that. There's
Yeah.
a comic for that. You want to know how the government works? There are comics for that. For that matter, my good friend Arsa Koryak also gave us the Constitution Illustrated, which one day I feel like we need to do like a GoFundMe or something to buy a copy of that for every member of Congress so that they have no excuse for not having read the Constitution.
God. Yeah, it
It'll fit in their suit pocket.
right. It has to be large print though for most of the
Maybe if we get enough money from the GoFundMe, we'll buy them a copy of the Constitution Illustrated and,
yeah.
and a magnifying
And
glass.
a really nice magnifying glass. Yeah. Because they don't have enough money to buy it themselves.
Have you
Oh.
seen Constitution Illustrated?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I've seen Constitution. Yeah. It's I mean, well
Bob's work is so cool.
that's the beauty of this age of comics that we live in. I know like it's, you know, everything after the Bronze Age is considered just like the modern age or whatever, but um
Chris Condon and I dubbed it the Platinum Age
the Platinum Age. I've heard
because we're
rumblings of a
in the
Platinum
age of
Age.
comics
Yeah.
where there are so many good books that nobody can actually read them all.
Yep. Well, you have to think like there's so much talent and
Mhm,
so many people who grew up in this medium and other mediums
mhm.
that now are getting into comics as a well as they're starting to see comics as a more respected like medium, right? And it's not just capes and cowls. And I think for the last like 20 years, we've seen a lot of that kind of progress past your Batmans and your Spider-Mans and
Well, and you're
stuff.
seeing bigger and bigger sections in actual bookstores.
Yeah,
You're occasionally, I was over
large
the moon.
distribution.
Well, I was over the moon, so over the moon that I sent pictures to Nate and Andrew when I was at a Barnes and Noble and found March in the
Ooh.
history section. It
Ooh.
wasn't even in the
Oh,
comics
yeah, not
section.
even the graphic
It
novel
was
section.
it was in the history section. What's more is it was faced out in the history section.
It escaped the scrutiny
It was
of comic
it was
books. Yeah.
on display. Please read me
Yeah.
in the history section. And I
This
just
is
went, this is among the coolest things I've ever seen.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's the best. It's when you see a work like especially comics or whatever, a graphic novel somewhere where it's not normally seen and it has such exposure, it's a good feeling, you know? I think
I think
yeah.
no, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think everybody in comics, like I said, it's a rising tide. Rising tide, you know, raises all ships. And I think when people see comics kind of in that forefront, they there's a bit of an ownership to that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, um, for years, like, you know, I think in high school it was like me and like two other dudes who liked Western comics. And now it's great that I can talk to most people and be like, oh yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet is great, and people know what I'm talking about, you know? Like,
Did you mean Western comics like cowboy comics or Western comics like non-manga?
Oh, like non-manga.
Okay.
I mean, I
Because for
love
a
manga
second that
too. Yeah.
because for a second there I'm like, ooh, because we just finished 3 months worth of talking about Jonah Hex on our Pulp Blotter
Ooh,
book club,
nice.
and then I hooked us up with Jimmy Palmiotti to talk more
Whoa.
Jonah Hex.
That's so sick. Yeah, yeah. No, I mean a good Western comic is great. We did that EC Outlaw Showdown.
It was
That
great.
was phenomenal. Yeah. And
It
then
was.
what is it? That Texas Blood, you know?
Oh,
Chris Condon, like that's
Chris
a
Condon is a dear friend of mine, so you
nice.
don't have to convince me on that one.
There you go. Yeah, this stuff is incredible.
That Texas Blood is only kind of Western. Enfield Gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Enfield Gang is so good.
Enfield and like the newsprint. Ah,
It's perfect. It's like I don't know, Westerns always have that sort of piece of Americana, you know, like the cowboy. They're always those Western comics. Anytime I see a Jonah Hex All-Star Western, I snag it. Even like a you know, Kid Colt or Two Gun Kid from the Marvel side of things. I mean, DC always had
well,
better Western characters, but
that pre, and I had missed it when it came out, but
yeah.
Mark Prott, who, if you like theater at all, and particularly if you know anybody who has a theater, Mark Prott wrote the Four Color trilogy. He wrote they all debuted in Chicago, but so far haven't been picked up anywhere else. The Mark of Cain, which was
Okay.
about Bill or Bob Kane and Bill Finger.
Ooh, okay.
Seduction of the Innocent,
Right.
or I'm
Classic.
sorry, Innocent of the Seduction is what the name of the play was, which was about Bill Gaines and had Frederick Wortham in like a crypt keeper type role for
Oh
the whole
wow.
thing, and it's got Matt Baker, and then House of Ideas was a Stan and Jack play. All
Right.
of them phenomenal, need to be picked up elsewhere. Available on the River site and wherever good books are sold. I highly recommend them. But he
Yeah, I want to see
but
that. I
he's
that sounds amazing.
yeah, but he's part of the Pulp Blotter book club, and it was Jonah Hex that pulled him back into single issue comics. So
Wow.
I had missed that pre New 52 run that Jonah or that Jimmy and Justin Gray did
Oh, it's
with
so good.
with a slew of artists. Jordy
Yeah.
Bernay, Fiona Staples did an issue.
Darwin
Jeff
Cook.
Lemire, Darwin did, I think, 3 or 4,
Yeah.
including issue 50, which Jimmy told us, and Mark went back and confirmed. Issue 50, he kills 50 people.
Oh, really? I never even caught that. That's perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
Yeah.
Mark went back and confirmed. Jimmy told him, he's like, "Really? Oh my god!" And like the next time I talked to him, he was like, "I went back and I reread it and I counted
I
it."
counted every dude in this
It's
50 Shades of
true.
Grey. Yeah. I love that. Yeah, no, I
Um,
think that's amazing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
the the
that
cool
run
the coolest
is
thing talking
phenomenal.
about,
Yeah.
because I just loved the who's who of artists involved.
Hmm.
Um, and it's such a who's who that initially I reached out to my friend Mark Chiarello because I'm like, this feels like a you thing, Wednesday
Yeah.
comics solo,
Right.
he's like, no, that was all Jimmy. I might have introduced him to Jordy Bernay. I can't remember, but that was all Jimmy. So I'm talking to Jimmy about it, and Jimmy's like, yeah, no, see, here's the thing. Because it was episodic, we could go up to like a Brian Stelfreeze and say, you want to do a Jonah Hex comic? And he goes, sure. What's the deadline? A year? Hell yes.
Hell yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it now. Yeah,
I've got a year to get it done. Absolutely. No
fucking done. Yeah.
problem.
No problemo. Yeah. It's
People are so used to, I need it in 6 weeks or eight
right.
weeks or whatever, that like you tell them they've got a year to do something cool,
They'll really do it cool. Yeah. Sky's the limit.
and he's like, but that's essentially what we had because we weren't doing one artist and we weren't
No.
doing a linear storyline. We were
Yeah, it wasn't
doing a
like,
series of one and dones.
yeah. And people love that. It's
As
great.
long as something was ready every month, we were fine.
We were great. We were golden, you know?
And I
Yeah,
don't
that's
understand why that doesn't happen more often. Just like
it's
oh,
tricky. It's tricky. It's tricky because talking to comic book shops, a lot of them will tell me like, "Oh, hey, we want like long form. We want, ongoing series to keep people coming in and keep readers reading." I love a good one shot. I think the EC one shots that we do are really great. The Adventure Time one shots do really, really well too. And I think part of that sort of like Netflix model of like here's a bunch of episodes, here's everything all in one, like works really well with the one shot. I think the problem with a one shot is people have to feel like they're getting their money's worth, right? Especially in these
yeah.
times, like it just has to feel like it has enough weight,
Well,
enough. Yeah.
but like with that old Jonah Hex
Yeah.
and Fraction's doing it with Batman a little bit now. It
Yeah.
wasn't as much they weren't numbered as one shots.
No.
What it was every story had a beginning, middle, and end. So
Right.
you didn't have to have read the last four issues
No.
to be able to read this one.
You could go into any of them. Yeah. That's
So
I have that.
it was an ongoing title, and the character built on itself, and occasionally you would have stuff that referred to we'd have part one of a story that was originally just part one, but like 12 issues later they decide to pick up where that one left off
Yeah.
and
They
tell
bring
the next
back
part.
El Diablo or whoever, or
Right,
Batlash,
right.
right? Like I was looking at my shelf to see what I had. And I have the Jonah Hex Omnibus they did a few years ago. I say a few years ago, yeah, 2020. Um, and then I have most of the that run that we're talking about in trade,
Yeah.
and then a few like one shots, and then I think,
Yeah, apparently it's infuriatingly mostly out of print right now,
yeah,
which is why
they're
Jimmy is really, really hoping that the All-Star Western Omnibus that just got released does well so that maybe he can get it back into print.
I didn't even realize they just put a new one out.
They put out the All-Star Western, which is essentially the new 52 Jonah Hex.
Oh,
So it's still Jimmy and Justin, but it's from right after
yeah.
that.
It's because that ties into like they tied that stuff into Batman and did the
Right,
Court of Owls, and that makes
right.
sense. Yeah, well, hopefully that does all right. Let me see. Jonah
Hey, if I
Hex.
if I had my way, I'd have all comics in print at all times. But apparently there's something about profits and paper and
Yeah, that usually ties into it, unfortunately. Um, because there is, holy crap, is it really going
warehouse
for that much?
space.
There's no, there's no way that book is that much online. Here, sorry. I'm looking
No,
up
it's okay.
the Jonah Hex graphic novels now. Okay, yeah, that's just
Yeah,
somebody who's insane.
because they're out of
Um,
print.
they're out of print. Yeah, yeah, but I last I
Yeah.
checked, out of print was like it was like 40 or $30 out of print. There's
It,
one
it it
dude who
all
has
it
one
all
for
depends
400.
on
Yeah.
it all depends on how serious the people who actually want it are.
Yeah. That's true.
You,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, and like it can be weird. We were talking about Love and Rockets earlier,
Hmm.
and like the weirdest thing about Love and Rockets is you never see. I mean, other than issue one, and I think issue 24 that has that black and red rock and roll cover,
Yeah.
right? None of them are officially that expensive,
No.
but if you find them online, they tend to be really expensive. And if you find them in the wild, they tend to be cheap, but put in a place in the store where only the right people will find them.
Right. Yeah. And take them to a nice home and
Right,
yeah, give
right.
them a
No, I mean, this is where I'm going to give a shout out to another one of my favorite shops. I was at JHU in Staten Island. That's
oh
where
yeah.
that's where I wound up getting most of the original Love and Rockets graphic novel collections
So
because
good.
I was looking for stuff, looking for Love and Rock stuff. It was actually on that tour where I met you. So it was like
Yeah.
2 or 3 days after I met you. I'm at JHU, and I asked if they had any more love and I found a handful of things and I grabbed them all and I'm like, do you have any? And I can't remember the two owners' names right now, but one of them turned to the other and he's like, don't we have that box in the back? And they just smiled and they walked back there and they came out and they had a short box with like 14 different Love and Rockets collected hardcovers. And I'm like,
Oh,
How much?" He's like, and they're like, "Okay, what's the cover?" They knocked 20% off the cover price for me.
holy crap.
And I'm like, "Are you
Yeah.
serious?" He's like, "Yeah, no, we took these off the floor a long time ago because we were looking for the right home." And we just decided that we found it.
It's yours. You got it right there.
I'm like,
See, I love stories like that. I was in a shop here. Let me see. Can you hear me still?
"Yeah,
Can you hear me? Hello?
I can."
Yeah. Okay. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, I was in a shop and let's I know it's right here. Yeah. I saw this. Can you hear me now?
I've always been able to hear you. Never lost you.
Okay. I want to make sure you can hear me. Uh,
Absolutely.
I found this like
Oh,
foreign,
nice.
yeah, this Japanese copy of like a bunch of
Right.
Dark Horse comics. So it
Oh,
has
nice.
like I get a kick out of it. It even has like the poster in there.
Oh,
But
nice.
it's Batman versus Predator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it even has like
To pull out.
yeah,
Oh,
it's so rad. And I saw it oh that's Army of Darkness. Hell yeah. But I saw it in a stack of stuff and I'm like, "Oh, what is that? What are you guys doing with that?" And the guy was like, "Oh, that came in a collection. I don't know." And I was like, "I'll let me know a price and I'll buy it for you." And I got it for 10
right.
bucks. And I
Right.
think $10 is I think it's a killer deal. So I've been
Oh,
collecting stuff like
absolutely. That's a
that.
fin
Yeah.
$10 reminds me of another wonderful find. Like when I was between the ages of 17 and 20, I tracked down and collected everything that Frank Miller had ever done up until that point.
Damn. Every cover, every yeah.
Well, you got to realize that I was 17 in 1997. So like 300 was coming out while I was doing this. So he hadn't done a lot of variant covers yet. We're talking the books that he'd done.
Yeah.
Um, but the last thing I managed to put my hands on was the Marvel graphic novel Daredevil Love and War that
Mm.
he wrote and Bill Sienkiewicz did the art on.
God, so good.
It is. It's phenomenal. In fact, it's so phenomenal that the copy that I wound up getting is beat to hell, which
Right.
didn't stop me from having Bill Sienkiewicz sign it when he
No,
was at the
yeah.
local museum.
It's amazing. I got Frank
but
Miller to
but
sign anyway.
yeah, but well, I'll get back to that because if you had Frank Miller signing something, I need to hear that story because I haven't met Frank. um, but so I like I picked stuff up in Southern California. I was at the 1998 San Diego Comic Con back when I was able to hear about it on the radio and go, "Hey, Dad, we're vacationing in Ventura, and I heard about it on the radio." And I said, "Hey, Dad, can we go down to San Diego on Saturday?" And we did, and we bought tickets there.
Oh, so good. I miss those days.
Kevin Smith was the big guy. Well, what I regret about that is that I thought Artist Alley was only for artists.
Uh,
It was the
so you
first
didn't,
con I'd ever been to. I
yeah,
thought it was like you have to prove that you're a special guy to go over there because it wasn't as busy as all the booths and stuff.
yeah. So
Which
you're like, oh,
I
I'm
mean,
not
I
allowed
once
over
went back
there.
and looked at who was in Artist Alley that year, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh my God, the number of people I could have met and talked to because there was nobody over there.
I I think about that a
There were so
lot.
few people over there that I thought I wasn't allowed to go."
I
But
I what is it? I went to the San Diego Comic-Con back in 1997.
Okay, so you were there the year before I was.
Yeah, and I remember this because they had a giant Spawn inflatable outside of this place. I don't remember too much about the show. I took my picture with a guy dressed like the Silver Surfer. I was wearing my Incredible Hulk t-shirt that I wore all the time. And what did I buy? Oh, I can do this. I think I can remember
I
this.
bought a bunch of Daredevil comics. That's what I remember I bought
Yeah. No,
because that's what I was there for.
what did I buy? I bought
My
think
brothers got toys and I got Daredevil comics.
yeah, Daredevil comics. They're great. I think I got some early Hulk stuff because I always collected the Hulk, Captain America, and then Green Lantern have always
Okay.
been always been good. But God, I don't remember
So
what I
you're into
bought
green
now.
stuff and Captain America.
Yeah, well, a Hulk was always my
So
favorite.
is the scroll version of Captain America your favorite Captain America because he's also green?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You hit the nail right on the head. Yeah.
I got to
But the
go find the scroll Captain America toy to give to Torma.
right, the Marvel Legends Skrull Captain America. Um no, Hulk was always my favorite because as a kid, I was a shy kid, believe it or not, and then like super
Me
overweight.
too. I'm actually
Yeah.
still shy when I'm not around comics people
Oh, really?
and classrooms
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and
Because you
baseball people.
baseball
Yeah,
people.
those are the baseball's my other thing.
Oh,
There's
nice.
a
Okay.
lot of baseball people in comics.
Yeah, there are. There are a lot of
I
baseball. I
have
wish I was
I
a bigger baseball guy.
I have an annual baseball and comics roundtable
Hmm.
that like Heidi McDonald practically threatens to kill me if I schedule it on a day that she's not free.
So good. Um, yeah, I wish I was a bigger baseball person.
That's okay.
I really do.
I love that the only sport that I care about seems to be the only sport that many people in comics care. I mean, there seem to be three sets of people in comics when it comes to sports. Well, four, but the fourth set is really just David Harper and Kyle Starks. The three sets of people when it comes to sports and comics. There are the I don't like sports. There are the does wrestling count?
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm a wrestling guy.
Right. And there are the baseball people.
Yep.
And then David Harbour and Kyle Starks are big basketball guys. But I
Okay.
think they're alone in that.
Yeah, there's a little basketball crossover. I mean, to be honest, I think it's more interesting. Like the wrestling I kind of get because wrestling and comics kind of feel almost hand in hand in a lot of like ways with like, personalities and over the tops and archetypes and all this. Baseball, I wonder if it's kind of tied to that Americana of like going into the convenience store and getting baseball cards and a comic, like
I think it's one part that and
yeah.
one part when it comes to storytelling, and I think this is the only I think this is I mean, you just hit it with the wrestling too. Wrestling is like real life superheroes,
Yeah,
right? But when it comes to storytelling, what sport has more storytelling than baseball?
wrestling.
Again,
Yeah.
the wrestling is your like super, but like of all the sports, which is there a sport that has more novels than baseball novels? Is there a sport that has more movies than baseball movies? Is there a sport that has more poetry than baseball poetry, music than baseball
Yeah.
music? There's a narrative to it. Like the only sport that even comes close, and this is where you get into the wrestling too, and I think the wrestling outweighs it for most comics people because it's got more bombast, is boxing. Boxing
Yeah.
is that like mono a mono storytelling. Baseball has more of equal parts individual and team and the long season.
Yeah, well, It's
So you put those things together and like it's just ripe for
it's
real storytelling.
yeah, it's Spider-Man versus the X-Men, right?
Right.
Like Spider-Man has that more boxing sort of mentality. You get the underdog story, you get the one-on-one, mano a
Speaking of
mano.
the X-Men, they played baseball a lot of times
That's what I'm
on the
saying.
lawn.
That's where I'm getting to. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah.
the only baseball that I really know is like the X-Men playing baseball every summer. But no, and the it's because like baseball, you get teams of characters and teams of people playing
Right.
against each other and creating that drama. Like the X-Men, they have
But also
Marauders,
but
Brotherhood.
there but
Yeah.
there's still the head-to-head pitcher versus
Yeah.
batter, you know,
It's the
and
centralized Xavier Magneto conflict that leads to everything else.
the Americana goes deeper than just the baseball cards next to the
Hmm.
comic books. You know, you've got old barnstorming leagues, you've got the Negro leagues, you've got, I mean, just wealth of storytelling,
Yeah.
tradition around the sport. So that's my theory anyway on why there are, and like I decided that I was the only time in my life where I felt too young was when Dennis Kitchen told me that there used to be on Friday afternoon in San Diego, either editors, publishers, or a publishers distributors, where however it worked out so that they had the right number of players on each side, softball
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Part of San Diego Comic Con from its inception until like the mid 90s was a Friday afternoon softball game.
Yeah.
And man, would that have been awesome to.
Oh, if I had a time machine, I would go back to all of that and like
Yeah.
the history, the moments, the dorks
Yeah.
and dweebs that made us who we are today, like
Yeah. Yeah.
it's I don't know, it's incredible. I'm trying to I wish I had some photos or something from that San Diego Comic-Con. In
Yeah. I don't
fact,
think I even took any
I
at the
have
one that I was at.
I know I have some photos. I think I got like a an X-Men Hawaiian shirt or something, or I
I
can't
mean,
remember, but
swear to God, Torma, I didn't realize it was a big deal.
yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that's like I don't know. I have great parents and they took me to every comic book shop that I asked them to when I was
Right.
younger.
Right. Right. Oh, but the end of the story. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'd been looking all over the place, couldn't find the Love and War.
Right.
Um, it was the infancy of the internet.
Hmm.
So finding it online
No.
was barely an option, but when I did, I never found it for less than $100. And $100 in 1999 was like, I mean, I was getting paid 750 an hour.
Yeah.
I mean, that was 2 days worth of work for me. It wasn't that desperate to read everything Frank Miller had ever done. Um, but I was working at the now defunct JC Comics in downtown Wheaton, and one of our regular customers had been one of the founders, and I think was still a silent partner of the College of Comic Book Knowledge in Minneapolis,
Hmm.
better known as Comic College, still there. I was also working for Best Buy at the time. So when I got sent up to Minneapolis on a business trip, he told me, talk to Ralph, tell him John sent you. I think he's probably got it somewhere. And they had just put together their first catalog. So they just managed to like catalog all of their back issues
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like again, catalog. He could hand me the physical paper that I could flip through and go, "Oh."
I need this one. Yeah,
And it
yeah.
wasn't in that. But he
Oh,
turned to another guy and he said, "Weren't you going through a Frank Miller phase 6 months ago? Do you know if we've got this?" And the guy went, "Yeah, I think we got like 10 copies down in the basement." So they went down to the basement, they grabbed it. And now kind of like Love and Rockets, it's one of those books it's never officially expensive. Like
Yeah.
its list price was $10 in the Comics Buyer's Guide, right?
Yeah.
So that's what he sold it to me for.
That's beautiful.
And that's why I remembered it when he said $10.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no, $10.
Because after like a year and a half of looking for it, debating dropping $100 to hope. Because again, early days of the internet. So, like, I'm sending a check off to an address and hoping that they send
That they send
something
it
back
back.
to me.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
pre eBay.
Right. You're like, hopefully this guy I met on the message board, like,
Right,
hopefully
right.
he, yeah,
It's like one step above like sending money off to like the comic shop that had the ad in the Marvel comic.
yeah.
You remember those
The
ads
mile highs. Yeah, yeah,
that
yeah.
said we if we're out, we'll send you something of equal value, but we won't give your money back.
God, it was a different time. So many crumpled up comics and folded and
Oh, I work
yeah.
in a high school. If I want to fuck with them, I say things like, you know, when I was in school, there weren't cell phones.
That's yeah. And I to see their
Well,
faces and it's like
how did how did you get a ride home? And I'm like, well, there were these things on the wall called payphones, and you could put a quarter in them.
we had a magical book called the phone book. Had every
You
number you
remember
need.
that many numbers? I
Garbage.
don't
I
even know my own phone number.
I used to remember, gosh, like I had like
Oh, I
10 or
still remember
12.
so many phone numbers from my childhood.
Yeah.
And like, I think there are maybe four phone numbers that are currently active that I still know.
It it's crazy. I at
One of
Panera,
them is
I
my wife's, and I'd been married for 2 years before I memorized it. And that
oh,
was because she gave me hell one day when I left my cell phone at home and I
yeah.
couldn't call her from work.
Oh gosh.
She's
Well,
like,
you can
"What do you
remember.
mean you don't know my phone number?"
Yeah. What do you mean you don't
Like,
know it?
and I'm like, "Well, I never needed it before."
Yeah, it's always been in there. It's always been there, and I'm
Right?
always next to you. I don't need it. Oh, that's awesome.
Uh, See, Torma, you need to come back more regularly because we've
Yeah.
talked about everything and nothing.
Yeah. We've talked about so much. What are you talking about?
Well, that's what I mean. We haven't actually finished a single thread, but we've talked about so
Well,
much.
I'm a talker, Tad. You know, I think we
And
both
I
are,
can
and
be
that's
too. And
yeah.
I'm sorry, you've got me super loopy right now
I
because
I have that
it's
effect on
just been one
people.
of those. Well, it's also just been one of those weeks.
Yeah, man. I hear
One of
you.
those weeks.
It's crazy.
Um,
I'm hoping for the Godzilla to show up eventually, you know? But yeah, no, Tad had me off
well, speaking of Godzilla, how
had me on
fucking good
whenever.
are the Godzilla comics lately?
Oh, they're so good. Are you kidding me?
I
Like,
I didn't know I liked Godzilla, and now I
really?
do.
Yeah. IDW is
They
killing it
keep
with
doing
Godzilla.
that to me.
Yeah. They
Comics
I'm
keep doing that. Like in the last year, the number of things that I didn't like that I started liking. Okay, I mean it started, and I he's a dear friend,
yeah.
so I don't hate him for it.
Oh God.
But I had always been a Star Wars guy that like remember when we were kids, you were either Star Wars or Star Trek. Very few people were
Yeah.
both.
No. Yeah. Nobody
So
was. Yeah.
I was always a Star Wars guy.
Hmm.
Now my friend Chris Cantwell is one of those rare guys who's both. But he's also a really big Trek guy, which means when he got the Defiant assignment, he shit himself. Not quite
Yeah.
literally,
But
but like
probably.
I got the message like long before it got announced. Oh my God, I get to do this. And I'm like, oh my God, I actually have to learn about Star Trek now.
I know a little about Star Trek. I
And
try to
even
know a little about everything, but
and even then, initially, I'm like, okay, I hatched a plan,
yeah.
and I'm gonna plug a couple of old episodes. I had him and Jackson. and Colin come on 22 panels to give a Star Trek crash course.
Ooh.
And I had my friend Aaron, who's a Trek fan, and Chris Condon, who's a Trek fan, as the actual professors. So the way we set it up was I was the student, Aaron and Chris Condon were the professors to
Yeah.
make certain that there were some good questions asked in case I didn't have any good ones. And the guest professors were Jackson, Colin, and Chris Cantwell. And like they're pitching this series and all this stuff, and Jackson's so excited about it and whatnot. And I'm taking notes to try to ask good questions and whatnot. So we get through it, and he's like, "So, questions?" I'm like, "Yes, I've got a few, but we're going to start with who's Benjamin Sisko?" And Jackson just starts laughing. He's like, "What's a Benjamin Sisko? You really weren't kidding. You don't know." I'm like, "This is what I told you."
I don't, yeah, you didn't know. You didn't know any of that.
But their run was so good.
What episode of 22 Panels is that?
Oh God. At this point, I just like do the use the search engine.
Oh,
Look
yeah,
for
yeah,
go to 22 panels and put Star Trek in, because when they wrapped up their runs, we had the three of them and Heather Antos back to do like the Star Trek master class after having
yeah.
done the Star Trek.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I know what I'm
But
listening to next time. Yeah.
so their stuff was so good that first I watched all of Deep Space Nine, where I got to know very well what a Benjamin Sisko is.
Yeah.
And then I watched all of Voyager, and then I watched all of Next Generation. While I was doing that, I watched all of Lower Decks. Now I've watched most of Enterprise.
Yeah.
It's like,
And now you're a Trekkie. Yeah.
what?
It
What
starts with one.
happened?
Like a tribble. It just starts with one little
Right.
dude and then gets worse and
Like,
worse.
thank God I haven't fallen as far down the rabbit hole yet.
Yeah.
But like, I never liked G.I. Joe. I mean, I
Oh.
wasn't allowed to watch G.I. Joe because it was too violent. I was only
Yeah.
allowed to watch the public service announcement at the end.
Right.
But like, to me, G.I. Joe and Star Wars were also in competition because they both had the action figures, and I liked the Star Wars ones better.
Yeah.
Um, so like, He-Man was the show that I was upset that I couldn't watch because it was too violent. Um, but then
He-Man's so good.
But then Kelly Thompson wrote Scarlet. And I'm like, God damn it, Kelly. Now I have
Yeah.
to read a G.I. Joe
Now I
book.
got to get into
She's
G.I.
like,
Joe.
she's like, not only do you have to read a G.I. Joe book, you should really go read Josh Williamson's book. And then I'm like, and I haven't yet, but they're still
Yeah.
like on the pile.
You still have the tomes. Yeah, I mean, G.I. Joe comics are great. The Larry Hama stuff, of course, is phenomenal, but there's a
I
really good
don't know if I'll
run.
wind up going that far back, but
You
I'm
should
giving
read some
it
of them. They're
such.
they're all right. But um God,
I
what
mean, I guess the biggest reason that I'm unlikely to go that far back is I don't like Hama's Punisher. I don't like Hama's Batman.
huh. Okay.
So the Hama that I've read, I'm just not into. I'm not
Try
saying it's bad. I'm just not
no.
into it.
Try the G.I. Joe. He had more leeway with all the G.I. Joe stuff, so he could really do what he wanted and tell like the stories that he wanted. But I mean, if you've tried Hama, then that might not be for you, and that's fine. That's okay.
I mean, this is the other thing that like I'm a really character driven guy.
Mhm.
Like among my unpopular opinions, and like this is the place where I need, because he's a guy that's been on the show. I'd love to have him on the show again. I like him as a person. There's some of his stuff that I consider some of the best comics in the world.
Yeah.
I don't like Scott Snyder as much as most people do.
Oh,
I think
really?
he's way better at world building than character development, and I don't care as much about world building, particularly in superhero comics. I
Yeah.
like
You
the
like
deep character dives.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. I mean that is a unique take. Yeah, 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 yeah.
But I totally get why people love him.
Right.
Like, I mean, my favorite book of his is Undiscovered Country. And
Oh, that is a
I'm
good one.
actually pretty certain that the reason it's my favorite book of his is like the one person who I've ever said I wish they did their world building just a little bit better because they do their character stuff so amazingly well,
Yeah.
and the world is sloppy enough that it sometimes bothers me, is Charles Sewell. So so you've got one of my favorite character builders with a master world builder
Right.
on a comic together. I had to pick it up,
You have to.
and I haven't regretted it.
It's peanut butter and jelly. It's a cheese and
Right.
burger,
Right.
it works. Yeah, yeah. No, Undiscovered
And I
Country
like
is
a lot of
amazing.
Scott. I like a lot of Scott's like independent miniseries. I loved Barnstormers.
Yeah. Barnstormers was
I,
fun.
I like the
Witches
stuff
is
he's done with
creepy.
his. I like the stuff he's done with Jack, his
Hmm.
son. Has been really good. Um, like again, like, and I won't bash there. If we tried really hard, but I'm not in the mood, we could probably come up with a couple of comics people that I would bash because I both don't like their comics and I think they're horrible people. But in general, either they make great comics even though they're a horrible person, and I have trouble talking about them anymore because it turns out they're a horrible person,
Oh,
or
yeah. Yeah.
they're good guys who don't actually make bad comics. They just make comics that aren't for me.
And that's fine, you know? I
Right.
mean, Scott Snyder, he shopped at Third Eye when I worked there and
I
he still
believe it.
shops there. Super
I didn't
nice
realize he
guy.
lived that air. I knew he lived out east. I thought he lived in New York.
Yeah,
Because
he's in New
I
York,
know
but
his son's because he was on the first baseball and comics roundtable
oh,
because his
nice.
son's a massive baseball fan.
Oh, perfect. There you go. Yeah, no, he would come down every now and again, but
Okay.
I mean, Third Eye
Yeah,
was one
he's
of the
an
shops
incredible
that
guy.
yeah, he's awesome. Third Eye
Right.
was a shop that really supported him early on, and I think
Right.
I still remember when he was calling shops, and I this was when Third Eye was no bigger than like my basement right now. And what is it? He was like, "Hey, my name's Scott
Oh
Snyder. I
wow.
got a new book."
So you went through the whole evolution of Third Eye too.
Oh yeah, I was the first person they hired at Third Eye.
Okay.
So it went from yeah, the joke is that my collection now is bigger than what Third Eye was when it first
When it
started, you know?
opened.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, but
Which
well,
means, Torma, if this whole thing at Oni doesn't work out, you can open a comic shop. You've
I
got what
have
you need.
I have one right here. I have everything you need. I just got to invite people into my
Go
house.
rent a storefront, move your stuff.
You it's funny you bring that up. There was I live
That's how
it
so many comic shops
yeah,
start. It's
that's
the
how it
wife that
is.
says, "I need this out of the
I need it out
house."
now and just figure out somewhere else to take it. Thankfully, I have a basement that can hold some of my collection, but
Right.
um, yeah, no, I in college I had neighbors who we lived in townhomes, right? And they made their place a bar on Google Maps. So all like just to goof with people. So you'd see people walk up to these like townhouses looking at them going like, where's this bar or
Where's the
whatever?
bar?
Yeah, but they had in their place, I went into they had a corner unit, which was weird, and I went in there and they pulled off this vent, and apparently the vent was just like a fake vent. It was just there to like cover up a hole or something, and you go in and they had a whole extra like room that was like set up as a bar. It was like a secret like speakeasy bar in their apartment. I was like, that's insane. That's amazing.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
So maybe something like
It
that
would
with
be cooler
comics.
if it was a secret speakeasy comic shop, though.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
So
what
I
I'll
mean,
do. The secret Torma speakeasy.
yeah,
Um
we'll have to come up with a password.
the, the password is
T
Wortham,
t
you know?
Yeah,
Like
tell Torma Wortham is here.
tell him Wortham is here. Seduction of the innocent. But where were we? Where were we talking? Oh yeah, I
I
was with
don't
Third
even
Eye
know
from
what
the
the
very
point of
beginning.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been with Third Eye I had longer hair back then, but I think that's also another reason why I, get along with so many shops is like I know the struggles of the smaller shop to the larger shop,
Right.
and so I've seen all of it in some way, shape, or
Well, and
form.
and you can't spend that much time at a shop and not start to get to know a lot of the industry people unless you're trying not to.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, don't get me
And
wrong. I know people who have had shops for 20 years who somehow don't even know other shop owners, much less publishing people or whatnot. But
yeah,
like, I know them well enough to know how they've pulled it off too.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They have the comics, they got the collections, they got that Amazing Fantasy 15 a few times,
Well, and
like
they pay somebody in comics to do all the real work for them so that they don't have to be in the shop any more minutes than they absolutely have to
yeah,
be.
all right. The best way to make $1 million in comics
and
is
and
to
that and that person doesn't wind up getting the connections because they have to say, yeah, no, I don't have the owner will be in at such and such a time.
yeah. It's a
you know
crazy system. Yeah. But it happens more often than you think. But comics is a very I don't know, carny business. It a lot of characters. I like to always say that everybody in comics to me is like a Simpsons character, right? They
but
all have their
not
like
actually the comic shop characters, and for the most part.
no.
I mean,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get me
yeah.
wrong, we've got a couple of comic shop guys out there, but I think most of the comic shop owner or comic shop guy Simpsons are out of the business at this point.
Oh, yeah, no,
There
I
just
I
aren't
don't
that many of them left.
I don't mean that archetype. I mean
No,
literally
no,
like
I know. I
like
was I was thinking out loud that like
yeah,
yes, the Simpsons characters are all over comics
yeah,
except the one that's based on comics.
right, except
He's
the
pretty
one
much
guy.
not in comics anymore.
Yeah. There's still a few. You always get a
There
few of
are.
the old guard but yeah, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna get somebody who's
I mean,
not the stereotypical comic book guy.
because honestly, the comic book guy I think is remember when comics like the comic shops were also like rare coin and or
Yeah.
baseball card shops,
Yep.
and almost always the comics were the afterthought of the guy.
Yeah. That's the comic book shop
That's the
guy.
comic book guy. That's the
Right.
comic shop guy. He's a little bit of a geek, but how often is he even when he gets onto the internet in later seasons, he's looking into movie stuff and
Yeah.
marking up the prices on the comics. He's not, ooh, so and so's about to write
Yeah. He's not saying,
Fallout
"Oh,
Boy."
Chip Zdarsky's writing a
Right.
Radioactive Man." Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Right,
Like
right, right. It's oh, Radioactive Man movie.
Shit. Yeah, like $100 right here. Yeah. No, I
Right.
I think thankful for that too. Excuse me. That thankful for that comics don't have as many of those comic book guys in them. And granted, you still get that every now and again. I've been to plenty of convention where people have
Oh
told
yeah.
me, "Hey, why don't you guys just do this?" Or, you guys um what is it? Yeah, like telling me like, "Oh yeah, you guys should do this comic, that comic." It's like, "Yeah, I wish we could if we could afford a license. Like
Right.
it's stuff like that. I mean, but
Well, and if there was actually an audience for it beyond you.
exactly. Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, hey, you should do this comic. It's like, oh, you want us to pay for that license? Do you understand how few people actually care
Right.
about
Yeah. How niche the niche thing is in the niche
right.
business. Like, yeah, what is this?
I
Okay.
mean, they can't even consistently make shadow comics work.
Yeah. I love the Shadow too.
I
Like the
do
Howard
too. But this is what I'm saying. You're about to say the
sorry,
Howard Chaykin. I love the Howard
I
Chaykin
love the
run.
Howard Chaykin Shadow
I
run.
love
Yeah.
Howard. Howard's been on a couple of times. Howard's so cool.
Yeah, I've never met Howard. Oh no, I met Howard at
I
a con like just
I love
briefly.
talking to Howard.
That's
I love
awesome.
talking to Howard.
Is he going to be at
And I'm
C2E2, do you know?
he's not on the list yet.
Hmm.
He's not on the list yet. I don't think he does a ton of cons these days. He doesn't really need to.
Yeah, I mean, he's all right. I think he's fine. Maybe,
He was careful with his Hollywood money.
yeah.
You
So
know,
he doesn't have to, yeah, doesn't have to.
he's pretty well set up so that like he can do what he wants as long as he's not stupid.
Have you ever done Heroes Con?
No, but that's on like the top of the. I've been to Heroes Aren't Hard to Find. That was
Yeah.
one of the stops on the. That was actually the shop that I went to the day before Third Eye. Not the shop
Oh
before Third
wow.
Eye because I hit Planet Comics in DC on my way to Third Eye. But
Oh yeah.
the day I met you, I'd woken up in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Wow. I think I remember
And
you
I
telling me
and
that
I
now that you
drove
said
up,
that.
yeah, and I drove up the coast, stopped at
Wow.
Planet Comics in DC, and then came to Third Eye.
And then came to Third Eye and you were because I remember you were pretty like beat and dead and you were traveling.
Yeah,
That's so
well, and that
cool.
was
Yeah.
only like day 4.
Yeah. God. How
But
was
but it was that night is when I got to New Jersey, where I have a friend that lives, and I spent 4 days where that was my home base. We went out to comic shops every day.
but you
You
came
know,
back
we did
to
we did 2 days worth of stuff in New York. He and I did like a 300-mile circuit through Pennsylvania and Jersey,
yeah,
where we
yeah.
went up to Scranton, came down through Philadelphia, hit some Jersey stores, and then went back to his house. Um, and then I cut through Albany, Rochester, Buffalo, Cleveland on the way home.
Damn. That's nice. The closest I got to was when I first started with Oni. I did a Torma tour, and from Wednesday to Sunday, I went up and I went down first and then up. So I went to Comic Logic, I went to Beyond Comics, Third Eye, and then up, I went to Laughing Ogre, I went to
Ah,
Summit.
Laughing Ogre. Laughing
Yeah.
Ogre was the second shop. I mean, I started that tour at Challengers because I love Challengers.
Yeah.
I actually
Yeah.
have a pull list at Challengers, even though like I can't get down there that often.
Challengers is
So I
awesome.
just yeah,
Pat and Doll are, yeah, they're
Patrick and
amazing.
Dal are just fantastic.
Yeah.
Um,
I was talking to Patrick the
so
other day, like last
so
week.
I started at Challengers, and then I went to a friend of mine's store in I forget the store, but a friend of mine lived in Valpo at the time, and I was staying with him the first night. So we went to his store, and then the next day, the only store I hit was Laughing Ogre because I went from Valpo to Columbus, hit Laughing Ogre, and then went from Columbus to a campground in I think West Virginia, either
Okay.
Virginia or West Virginia. That was the one night that I camped. And then I woke up and went down to Charlotte. I actually spent
Charlotte's good.
2 nights in Charlotte. So I went to Heroes a couple of times and I hit a couple of the other stores in town.
Yeah.
That was my first kind of rest. you know,
Taking it easy.
I
Yeah, yeah.
pushed it so hard to get down there. My dad had given me a hotel room for a birthday present because that was the other reason that I was doing it. My birthday is always on spring break.
Oh, nice.
Um, and then I swung up. I hit. Is it Planet Comics in DC? Does that sound right?
Big
Big
planets in
Planet.
DC, and
Big
then
Planet in
Phantom.
DC.
Yeah, big planets in DC, Phantoms in DC.
Yeah, I didn't hit Phantom. I hit Big Planet
Yeah.
in DC, and then I swung to Third Eye, and then I went to New Jersey. And then the first day out of Jersey, we hit Brooklyn. We went to Bulletproof and Anyone, and then we hit
Oh,
JHU
nice.
on the way back.
Nice. Okay.
The second day is when we did our um, Pennsylvania Jersey loop. So it was Comics on the Green in Scranton. It
Nice.
was Amalgam in Philly. Rest in peace. I loved that
Hmm.
store. And I don't even remember the three that we hit in. Jersey before having dinner with Chris Condon in Jersey City. Um, the next day I hit um, Forbidden Planet in Manhattan and spent the
Ooh,
afternoon with
okay.
Ars Coriac.
Nice.
And then I went up to hit Aquilonia outside of Albany because that's Marcus Kwame Anderson's home store.
Yeah.
And we met there, and he bought me lunch at a Jamaican place across the street for my birthday. And
Sounds great.
that is when he told me about Big Jim and the White Boy. It would be 2 years, 2 years to the day that I couldn't tell anybody about that project. It was announced on my birthday 2 years later.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And it's the most reposted 22 panels post ever. I put up the Blue Sky post, and mind you, the Blue Sky post said it was on my birthday 2 years ago, 2 years ago today, that
Yeah.
that Marcus told me about this. Now I can finally share it with you, and I shared a link to Big Jim and the White Boy. It was reposted, I think, 1,000 times.
Oh,
Not a
wow.
single person said happy birthday to me.
Garbage. Garbage
No,
bots
it
on the
just
internet.
it just
Yeah.
tells you how cool the project was that
Right.
everybody's like, "Oh my
Yeah.
god, look at that!"
Yeah. What is this?
But
Click.
nobody went.
Happy birthday, Dad. Oh,
So from Albany, I went to Rochester. My friend Matt lives in Rochester. He took me to a couple shops in Rochester. I hit a couple of shops in Buffalo, and then um, is it John and Carol's in Cleveland?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's a
It
great
was
shop.
Durf Beckdurf told me I had to go there. Um, and then Durf's great.
hmm
So that actually, this is a perfect time. We're gonna ask the wrap up questions because at this point I know you'll be back. I'm gonna suck you into a book club, man.
Yeah, dude.
When we
Bring me
when we
through.
go when we go off air, I'm gonna tell you the book clubs, and you're gonna be required to pick one.
Okay. I will. Okay. Hold me to it. Yeah, yeah.
And if you don't pick one, then we'll just have to create a Tad and Torma one. I
Tad and
mean,
Torma.
if
TNT.
necessary. I'm already doing like 10 book clubs a month, so I'd almost prefer that you just join one of the current ones,
No, no, we're starting
but
another one
I
now.
will start a
Yeah.
new one for you.
Yeah. We're doing 11 book clubs. You heard it here first on 22 panels. We're doing 22 book
So
clubs, 22 days.
so um
Wrap
over
up
the last
questions. Yeah.
yeah, two wrap-up questions. Over the last going on 5 years now doing this podcast,
hmm
um I feel like I've fallen into the twilight zone. The number of surreal experiences I've had, the number of people that I text with,
Yeah.
like like the people who are supposed to be just names and favorite books of mine, who I text during the World Series,
Yeah.
or or send their kids birthday presents or whatever. Like I have fallen into the twilight zone.
Yeah.
And I have found that that is true of everybody that spends time in comics. I talked to Matt
Absolutely.
Wagner and he had surreal stories to tell. I've talked to Paul Pope and he has surreal stories to tell. So it's become my thing.
Yeah.
Tell me one of the surreal experiences that you've had. Tell me one of the experiences
Ooh.
that if 10-year-old Torma or 18-year-old Torma
Oh
had been
man.
told,
Yeah.
you will do this in your lifetime,
Yeah.
you would have gone, fuck you, you're insane.
Yeah. I mean, besides where I'm at right now, every day I wake up and it feels like a surreal like
Right.
experience. One for me, I'll do the biggest one at Third Eye, surreal experience wise, was probably when we had George Perez out for a
Oh,
signing. And it was so busy, it was crazy. And we were nuts, and I was doing all this, and I didn't think I'd get a chance to like talk to him, right? Because he had the signing and then had to go on a flight to get um somewhere else. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna get a
right.
chance to talk. And so I'm in the back, and I remember I'm sorting stuff. I forget what it was. And then Trish, one of the owners of Third Eye, my boss, comes through and she goes, Torma, look who it is. And she has George Perez. And I go, it's like the one time in comics that I've been a bumbling dork where I'm like, hey, how's it going, Mr. George Perez? And I remember doing that so clearly and becoming like Jimmy Olsen. And I he goes, "Oh my goodness, hey, you and I had, the bald haircut and the beard, and he goes, "You look like are you sure you're not my son, And like I got to hug George Perez and I took a picture with him obviously, and it's like for me, Hulk Future
Did he
Imperfect.
sign a comic to you that said to my
Oh,
son, Michael?
I think my copy of Hulk Future Imperfect has that in there, or it's the JLA Avengers Absolute.
Right. Right.
But no, that's one of the most surreal stories, I think. Um, what is it? New York Comic Con this past year. I got to have dinner with Matt Kint and his wife,
Oh,
and
nice. He's still on my short list of people that I haven't met or had on the podcast that I
he's
really, really want to.
he's super nice. He's awesome.
I can't wait for
Yeah.
more mind management.
Oh, it's gonna be
Every
so
time he
good.
announces more man, and for that matter, he's doing stuff with David fucking Lapham right now. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But finally met Lapham. That was
Oh,
because
I'm sure that's surreal. Yeah.
well, I had the American Caper crew on.
Yeah.
So I had Shelly and I had David and I had Laszlo and we had a blast. And I mean David's the only person that I own original art from.
Oh wow. I
I'm sorry, an original page from. I've got
yeah.
an original Elsa Chartier and I've got an original Mark Chiarello
I'm
um
actually it's funny. I'm
single.
next to this is Skull Kickers, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Uh Jim Zub, Jimothy
Right.
Zub.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
it's an original Trad Moore, but this was before he got picked up for like, being amazing and doing all that.
Oh
He
nice.
had a pitch for an X-Men book. It
Okay.
later it became like X-Men Monstrous, right? But this is
Right.
Cyclops and Emma Frost battling Fin Fang Foom, and he
Cool,
signed
cool.
it, to Torma.
Yeah. I
Um,
I have a Stray Bullets page.
yeah,
So that
that's
that
that's amazing. I mean, that's like
yeah.
that's comic history. I'm
Yeah.
trying to see. You just
It
happened to
was a
catch
gift.
me,
It was a gift from the guy that I stayed with in New Jersey. It's nice to have pharmaceutical executives as friends.
right? They have the money to just give you
They
original
they can
artwork,
sometimes buy you things that you wouldn't otherwise buy yourself. That's
right?
beautiful. Who is
Yeah,
that?
that's Riley Rossmo.
Okay.
Yeah. And this was
Love me some Swamp Thing.
yeah. Well, we had him out for a signing, right?
Okay.
And we took him to Outback Steakhouse. I remember it was Outback
That was the
Steakhouse.
best you could do.
This is when Third Eye was smaller than my basement. And Outback Steakhouse is
Okay.
delicious. We had a feast.
Well, I know, but I feel like being that comic stores are the ultimate of non-corporate, non-chain, if you're gonna
Yeah.
take somebody out to dinner, it should be to a local joint.
I well, yeah, but Kookaburra wings and the Bloomin' Onion are pretty delicious. So so counterpoint, Tad. Uh, they're great. I don't know. And they had a good time. We drank many drinks that were blue and red and all these stupid colors. And we were talking. I was like, you know what? And this is like right when he's doing Cowboy Ninja Viking. And I go, you know what? Your style would be perfect, and I hope you get to do it one day. Is a Swamp Thing or Man Thing? Like some of the swampy dudes. And he's sketching something on because he had like a commission or something. He's sketching. He stops and he goes, "Those are two of my favorite characters." And the next day he gave me that page. My
Oh,
bosses
sweet.
were like, "Hey, Riley drew this for you last night." I was like, "What?" And it's a full page Man Thing. What's it?
That's a surreal story right there.
I
Like,
know. I'm
I
remembering.
mean, what one of my surreal stories is like, I've become friends with Mark Chiarello, but it's still weird to say those words because like
Yeah.
he was the art director at DC Comics for a long time,
Yeah. Right? Like
right? but when I like became absolutely certain that like, oh, we are friends was like
Yeah.
not just when he took time out during C2E2 this last year to just sit and have a cup of coffee with me, but like we were just trading like old baseball stories, both
Yeah.
both from our playing days and from games we'd watched and whatnot. And I told him a story about a game I pitched when I was in middle school where I'd broken three fingers at school during the day, but that wasn't going to keep me off the mound.
Nope.
So I'd like taped these two fingers together, and this one kind of hung loose, and I struck out 17.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
So Mark does a lot of baseball portraits.
Yeah.
And so when I'm swinging by the booth to say goodbye at the end of Sunday, he's like, "Hold on a second." He goes, he's flipping through his baseball portrait. He's like, "Where is it? Where is it?" He pulls out from behind a Three Finger Brown original. And mind you, like Mark Chiarillo original art is not inexpensive.
No. Yeah. Yeah, not
He's
at
like, "This
all.
is for you." And I'm like, he's like, "For you." I'm
Please
like,
take it.
so that's up on my wall now.
That's beautiful. Yeah, I moved around some art, so I've been trying to figure out how to put all this back up somewhere. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's I think it's like you said, it's a business, it's a group of friends and peers and colleagues where we're all fans of the same medium, so almost every interaction can seem like this surreal kind of moment. Um, trying to think what other
But it also never
stories.
gets. I mean, I've I've talked to so many people who've been around, and one of the questions I'll sometimes ask, particularly like of other podcasters or comics journalists or whatnot, is like, does it ever get old?
Yeah.
Does it ever like wear off where you're sitting there going, "Oh my God, I'm talking to Tom King now." Even when you're saying, "Oh my God, I'm talking to my friend Tom King now," does it wear off? It's
Yeah.
like, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. It just
Well,
feels like
yeah.
you're
The
in
the
this other world, and it's
the moment like at a show at a con or something and I have like Tom King comes up from behind and goes, "Who let this guy in?" I'm like,
right.
"Hey, how's it going, Tom?"
Right.
And like cuz well I remember the days where he was at the Annapolis Comic-Con and he wasn't the Tom King yet. He just had
Right.
his book A Once Crowded Sky.
Sky. Yep.
Yeah. And
Are you and I the only two people who've read that too?
I think
I
maybe
mean, no, that's not my fair. My friend Matt has also read it.
mhm. Well, there you go. That's three. But I remember.
You didn't happen to put yours up on the used book market because I think Matt bought his used. So
Oh
so it could
God.
still be only two that were I own mine too. So if you don't have your copy anymore,
It might be on there. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotta find my copy of that. I gotta find my novels. I have a box somewhere. It's in there. Um, but yeah, no, like it's all surreal,
it is.
Like I'm trying to think. Oh
I actually
God.
made a comment to it. I mean, because like the world is on fire right now. Our
Right.
nation in
Yeah.
particular is on fire. I made a comment to somebody recently that like one of the reasons that I have been such an activist, one of the reasons why I have been going nuts to do anything and everything I can to make any part of this world better is like I feel a little guilty because like overall my life is awesome.
Yeah. Right? Like you have this sort of it's almost like a weird survivor's guilt or something
Right.
of an event of a current like climate that I don't know. It's yeah, but I mean that's a good mentality to have where you can realize that you have this opportunity and you have this space and this power that you should those with I always think of the Captain America quote, those with strength help those without, right?
Yeah.
And I'm sure
It's
he
a good
took that
one.
from somebody else, but I know it from Captain America.
Yeah.
And
It's a
I
good
try
place
to
to know it from.
it's a good place. Yeah, yeah. And so I try to think about that where it's like okay, yeah, my neighbor might have been a jerk to me and parked his car in front of my house for 3 or 4 months, but on Christmas Day, when his other car was like broken down and he didn't know what to do, and I know a little bit about cars, I went out there to help him, and then my other neighbors came out, and it was a nice, beautiful moment on a Christmas Day.
But
Those with strength help those without. That's
I mean, if it had broken down on Christmas Eve, you would have said, fuck that guy.
no. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was Christmas Eve though. That guy could suck it. That guy. Oh, screw that guy.
And if it had been the 26th of November or December, then really it would have been
Oh
like,
yeah. All
oh,
the
your
Christmas
car
cheer.
broke down in front of
Oh,
my house.
boo-hoo.
Let me come slash your tires, man.
Right? Let's make sure he doesn't go anywhere. Oh. But yeah, no, yeah, that's I try to take that mentality with
Oh,
everything.
sometimes I
Um,
need to have dark humor.
you have to. The world is not just lights, it's shadows and grays and hues
Full
and
color,
tones. It's full
full
color, yeah.
color.
Yeah.
When people try to say that the world isn't black and white, it's got shades of gray. I'm like, no, no. See, you're still missing out. It's in full color.
Yeah. It's in color. We got
If
all
you're
it's
only looking at those shades of gray, you're missing a lot.
yeah, you're getting too into the minutia. Yeah.
All right, my required final question.
Ooh, yeah.
Tell me something you love, preferably a comic, but we
Okay.
don't really have rules,
Okay.
but something that you love that not enough people around you have experienced and you need them to because you want more people to talk about it with.
Hmm. It can be anything.
I mean, again, preferably a comic, but we don't have
Yeah.
rules.
Right.
Andrew Iden said his tomato garden.
Hmm.
Many people have put up movies. Um, I phrase it this way because, like, as much as I love to get that comic recommendation that is actually one that I've never heard of, like, I also know that everybody has a different experience. Like Nate Powell said, Jonathan Hickman's X-Men. He's like, I know that that seems really weird. And for like most of your listeners, they're like, everybody's talking about that. But I've been in the indie comic scene for 20
Yeah.
years. And I just
Yeah.
went back into a shop on a Wednesday for the first time and I found this and it's amazing. And my friends don't read Wednesday
Right?
comics.
I need to talk to somebody who can appreciate Colossus and Mr. Sinister and yeah, the oh God, what's her name? The clone that Mr. Sinister makes of
Yeah.
Colossus Magic and Rogue. Yeah, no, I get
Yeah,
that.
he's
I
like he's like I've got lots of friends that will talk to me about Claremont X-Men, but
yeah,
but this Hickman era is really
it's pretty
cool.
good. It's pretty rad.
So that's what I'm saying is
Yeah,
like we're very loose with the rules.
of course. Yeah, well, besides I want to try to get into the comic theme of things. So besides like my family and my son, who we just started watching Godzilla movies, and he goes
Ah,
rawr. Like he's a little older than
nice.
one, so I'm
Okay.
I'm just excited for the rest of the trip, you know?
One of my sons, I think my son was 5, maybe 6, the first time he watched the Matthew Broderick Godzilla. Have you seen the
Oh
Matthew
God.
Broderick
Yeah, I've
Godzilla?
seen I've seen every Godzilla. Yeah.
Okay. So, you know the scene near the end where all the eggs are hatching in Madison Square Garden and they start
Yep.
like machine gunning the Godzillas and the eggs? He
Yeah.
starts scream. He's like right up at the screen, screaming at it. You don't shoot Godzilla. Godzilla eats you. I'm like, Jonah, but like, it's the circle of life, Dad.
It's the circle of life, Dad. Your wife needs to make that a t-shirt. Just have the Godzillas eating like eating somebody, and it's
But
like it's
this
the circle of
this little
life.
kid
Yeah.
screaming at the TV,
It
you
reminds
don't kill Godzilla,
Godzilla.
which in and of itself is great. But
Yeah.
but Godzilla eats
It's
you.
you. Like trying to educate the
It's
the
it's
soldiers.
not
Yeah.
good enough for you
No.
not to kill. You're supposed to just offer yourself
Godzilla gets eaten. Well, everyone has
as as
yeah.
food
You have that Godzilla
to the
toy and you
baby
feed it.
Godzilla.
Yeah. It's Godzilla is a cooler, more dominant life form. And who's to say, the world wouldn't be better with a pack of Godzillas running around,
It's
right?
entirely possible.
It's entirely
How,
possible.
how great have the Godzilla versus Americas been?
Oh, they've been phenomenal.
Oh
I
my god.
the Godzilla destroys the Marvel universe was amazing.
Well,
Um,
but I like the Godzilla versus like Godzilla versus Chicago, you got Carolyn Cash.
Yeah.
Godzilla versus LA, you got Dave Baker, Jesse Lonergan for Godzilla versus Boston. Like
Yeah.
I love the decision they made to split between more mainstream and indie cartoonists for those.
Well, have your cake and eat it too, right?
Exactly.
Have your filet
Yeah.
mignon and then your cheeseburger. Like,
I know,
um,
but you and I both know, particularly when it comes to properties, being that daring doesn't happen that often.
no.
For
Hey,
for for every Mark Russell on Flintstones story,
yeah,
there are 10 stories about, well, if you'd only seen my original script before blank group saw it and said, "Oh no, no, no,
no,
no. That
can't.
character doesn't do that. That character doesn't do that."
Yeah, there's so many like what is it, unused pitches that I can only imagine ended up in filing cabinets and waste paper bins and
I know.
uh what kind of alternate reality we would have lived in if every comic idea got pushed
But
through.
you've got a
But
1 year old. Wow. So
yeah,
you've had your child since we met.
yeah,
How,
yeah,
I mean, I know the obvious part. You've been scared shitless every day for the last year
yeah,
and
yeah,
barely slept.
right,
But
yeah.
but other than that, how's it been?
It's been it's been it's been amazing. It's You have those moments where, the world is on fire and everything seems like it's going to end at any moment, and then you see your little guy. He looks at you, and then you know,
Is he walking yet?
no, he's really close to walking, but he crawls like the Dickens.
Okay.
But
Cause,
he's
'cause like walking's not that scary, but soon
yeah.
after walking comes climbing. And if you think you've been scared to
Oh,
death for the last year,
yeah.
just
Just
wait.
wait. Well, he just figured out climbing the stairs, and he knows how to get up
Okay.
them and he knows how to get down them. So
Now,
yeah.
my grandkids are 6 and 4,
Oh
and
wow. Nice.
I think it
Congrats.
was when my granddaughter was 2 that my son told me that he was having a ton of trouble figuring out how to take toys away from her
Hmm.
because initially it had been okay, if this is getting taken away, he'd put it on top of like the highest shelf in the living room.
I I can see where this is going.
And then one day he does that and he's like in the kitchen um making dinner or whatnot, and she comes walking in with the toy. And he's like, "Did I not?" So it's like initially it's like, did I not put it, did it fall down? Blah blah blah.
Right. Did I
But
mess
then
it
it
up?
was like the third time that he actually walks in, and there she is, scaling the bookshelf.
Yeah. Well, we're all monkeys at heart, just climbing those trees. It makes sense.
No fear whatsoever.
Nope. She's never fallen before. Why is there anything to be afraid of? Yeah, I mean, it's magical. It's wonderful.
So yeah,
Yeah,
you got that to look forward to.
right. I'm
And
excited. I'm excited
then
to have
once
more
you're less
terror.
scared about that, he'll start asking really cool questions
Yeah,
and things will be amazing for 3 to 5 years, depending on how lucky you get.
right.
And then suddenly you will become the dumbest man on earth until either he has kids of his own or needs to move back. Well, no, not even moving back in will generally do it. Kids of his own, or you're helping him move into his own place.
Right. And that's when I seem to be smart
That's when
again.
suddenly you will be smart again.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Dad is smart. Okay. He knows what he's doing a little bit, I guess.
I mean, my son had my grandson when he was 17. So I went from being the dumbest person in the world to really smart, lightning speed.
Yeah, right.
But that's really how it is. The stages of children at least according to me, are the smelly period,
Okay.
where you're also scared because they're wiggly and they
Yep.
seem small and fragile. And if it's your first kid, you don't know that they aren't really small and fragile. I mean, they're small,
No.
but they're not that fragile.
No.
Like you can drop them, you can dribble them like a basketball. They're
Yeah,
fine.
they're made out of rubber. They'll be fine.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Um, but then just as they actually become fragile, they also become fearless and agile.
Yeah. Like like a
And
version of Spider-Man with
if you
glass
thought it was
bones. Yeah.
scary when you were worried about dropping them,
Yeah. They can drop themselves now.
right. And then they become capable of asking questions, and you're the smartest person in the world. And for a brief period, like I said,
Yeah.
generally 3 years, if you're lucky, 5, if you're ridiculously lucky, maybe 7.
Yeah. But there comes a time.
It's like amazing.
Yeah.
And then they figure out that they can say no and the world won't end.
So so
So
you're
your
saying,
world does.
yeah, so I end when they can say no.
Right.
I become the
When
goof.
they figure out that they can say no and either there won't really be consequences or let's face it, the consequences are laughable.
Yeah. Yeah, I know I'm gonna be I already spoil them
You're
like
gonna
crazy.
stare me down to eat my peas. Fine, I'll
Yeah.
stare you down and
I
not eat my
I
peas.
have nothing to
This
do,
is
Dad.
just
We'll
as
be here.
bad for you,
Yeah.
Dad, as it is for me. Only I'm having fun with it because I don't have to go to work tomorrow morning.
Yeah. I just have to go to bed. That's it.
Right? You
Yeah.
want to
There's
send me
nothing.
to bed without my dinner? Hey, I didn't want to eat my dinner anyway. That was the fight we were having.
God. Sounds great. You know what? Maybe I can, change my mind. No. Can we do a reverse? Um, yeah, besides that, if you want a deep cut from the Torma archive,
Yeah, let's get a deep cut from the Torma archive.
what's one that I always like to recommend to people? Have you checked out Johnny Future? Did you ever read that?
I don't know if I know that.
Let me here,
Johnny
give me
Future?
1 second.
Who did Johnny Future?
Johnny Future, I hadn't heard about it for a while, and I didn't know about it until this is probably I have the receipt in here. When did this come out? When did I get
Okay,
this?
okay. Which one? Because it looks like there's a one. Oh,
Is this 2020? It might have been 2020. No,
is this
this is
the '60s British superhero?
yeah, the
Yeah. Okay.
complete, yeah.
So, you know what else I just discovered?
What's
One
that?
of one of the characters in Tom Strong's Terrific Tales is
Yeah.
Johnny Jonni Future.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
So we just found out somebody who likes Johnny Future. Not that that's surprising because he's definitely an aficionado of
British comics.
1960s British comics.
Yeah. Well, so the basic
Yeah, I've been really
premise,
happy with some of the stuff Rebellion's been putting out lately.
dude, yeah, Rebellion's amazing. No,
Yeah.
so essentially Johnny Future is the story of it's the Incredible Hulk gets turned into Superman, right?
Okay.
It's the missing link rampaging throughout, England, throughout the city, and he gets to a nuclear power plant, gets blasted with more radiation, and it gives him more powers, intelligence, and he becomes, your prototypical 60s Superman doing whatever he can do, sci-fi character. Um, it's bonkers, it's batshit, and I love it. I love it because it feels like a comic from another reality, you know, where you have like this what could have been the Incredible Hulk, what could have been Superman if like Marvel and DC were under the same banners.
Right.
That one's really, really killer. Monsters that came out a few years ago. If you haven't read that, Barry
The
Windsor,
Barry
yeah.
Windsor Smith. Did you see that Fantagraphics is collecting his Marvel stuff?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I've been trying to cut back on everything that I
You
buy.
mean you have to pay for children or
I have to
child?
pay for yeah, it's basically I had to choose this child or comic books and I
This is why I know so little about comics between
yeah.
2001 and like 2012.
But you could tell me all about baby formula and stuff, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to get the Back to the
My
Savage
biggest
Land. I'm looking at it
he,
now.
Here is my biggest piece of advice for you as a geek parent.
Yeah.
Do not show them anything that you're not willing to watch 10 times in a weekend.
Okay. Okay. So no, well actually, yeah, I'll show them Tremors when they're old enough. I love that movie. Tremors is so
Right.
good.
But like
But like they'll want to watch it
when
over and over and over and over and over and over and over.
particularly when you're picking, I mean, by the time they can see Tremors, they might be through it. But when you're picking out which kids movies to introduce them to, don't go, I kind of liked this one, let's watch this, because that will be the one. I mean, you will at times have to lose, well, actually we're in the streaming age, but I used to have to
Yeah.
lose DVDs.
So you
Lose
didn't have to watch it
DVDs
anyway.
for short periods of time. Because
Right.
even movies I like, I love Oliver and Company
Yeah.
until I watched it like 5 times a weekend every weekend for 6 months
Yeah. Well,
because it was the only movie they wanted to watch, and they would throw a fit if I suggested anything else.
yep. We
I made
babysit
the
our
mistake
nephew. Yeah.
of introducing them my son to Star Wars
Uh-oh.
with the prequels before Revenge of the Sith came out. So
Yeah.
not only did I have to watch Phantom Menace and particularly Attack of the Clones way more than I wanted to because I'd have to like bargain with them. It's like, okay, we've watched Attack of the Clones 3 times. Can we watch Return of the Jedi once?
Please, please. Yeah.
If I promise that we can watch Phantom Menace afterwards, can we watch Empire Strikes Back?
Right. I've eaten so much Brussels sprouts and broccoli. Can I have a slice of pizza? Please. Give
Right,
me
right.
something.
But then the killer was he was 5 when Phantom Menace came out, which
Yeah.
is the only Star Wars movie that shouldn't be watched by a 5-year-old.
Yeah. It's true. If I'm thinking about it, like well, yeah, I mean the Qui-Gon Jinn death is pretty scary.
Yeah, but it's not bloody.
No. Yeah. Yeah.
Between the fact that you have Anakin, who was his hero,
Oh, well, yeah. The kid.
slaughtering little kids,
Yeah.
and then you have Anakin, who was his hero, on fire graphically.
Yeah. Burning alive. Yeah. Probably not the best one. Probably not.
It's
Yeah.
like, George, seriously, there's been no blood in Star Wars.
Yeah. Like, why
Like the
now?
only blood we had at all was Ponda Baba's arm on the floor. And he didn't even
Yeah.
have blood on his stump.
No.
It was just the arm on the
Well, because
floor
it got
that had blood.
cauterized.
The
Yeah.
stump was cauterized.
Yeah. That's how you know it really hurt if the arm on the floor had blood on it, you know? Oh. But yeah, I look forward to
Oh,
that.
yeah.
Um,
But yeah,
yeah.
and then actually I do have a teenager. Are you I assume you're a big music guy just
Yeah.
because I mean, A, who isn't, but B, like if you're gonna be a geek already, skipping music entirely just seems weird.
Yeah.
Um,
It makes you a weirdo. Come on. Yeah.
your kid will wind up liking stuff that you don't like. That's a
Yeah.
given.
Right.
You don't stop this by banning it. You absolutely don't stop this by trying to tell him that your music is better or trying to make him listen to your music or whatever.
Right.
The way you stop it is just play your music.
Hmm. Okay. Just power through. Just put it on. Like,
Just put it on.
Okay.
all the time.
Yeah.
If he wants to listen to something else in his room, fine. But like I told, if, and it feels like another lifetime. I ran music departments at Best Buy back when Best Buy was where you bought your CDs.
Right. Yeah.
Um, and I had a guy who was in buying whatever rap album for his son that he couldn't believe he was buying. And I was like, this was not bad, but this is what you do. And I told him,
Yeah.
he's like, I don't know. And like a week later, he comes in God, did he sell this well? Because he looked furious. He's like, I took your advice. I'm like, uh-oh. He's
Yeah.
like, yeah, my son was playing that stupid. And I went, I'm going to put on some Jimmy. And his
Yeah.
music got louder, so I made my music louder. I'm like, well, that's not actually what I said to do.
Yeah.
And
Right.
his music got louder, and I turned mine up. And his music got louder, so I turned mine up some more. And I'm like, oh, shit. Is he going to tell my manager? Am I getting fired today? And suddenly his music goes off, and I hear stomping down the stairs. I'm like, please tell me this isn't going somewhere horrible. And he
Yeah.
sticks his head into my office and he says, what is this, Dad? It's pretty cool.
What is this? Is that see? That's the moment that
Good music
I live
speaks for
for.
itself. If you
Yeah.
sell it, it becomes uncool
Right.
because you're uncool.
Because you're trying to. Yeah. Dad
No,
is always
just because
uncool.
you're uncool,
Yeah. Yeah.
not
Yeah.
because you're trying or you're uncool. So
Yeah.
if you sell it, it's not cool.
Right.
They will turn off their ears. It doesn't matter what you play for them. It sucks.
Yeah. It's
But
bad.
if you just
You're listening
play
to it.
it,
Yeah.
you just play it and actually start now. Make certain that anytime you're in the car, you're playing your music. If there's kids' music you like, great. But I don't understand how Raffi made $1 because kids don't give a shit about what music's playing.
Right. Yeah. They could care
Certainly
less.
not in the car. You don't have to put a kid's music tape on the car. If
Yeah.
you like Led Zeppelin and you're driving to the grocery store, you play Led Zeppelin.
Yeah. Just let it ring a little bit. What have
What
I been listening to? I've been listening to a lot of like doom and stoner metal recently.
All right. I mean,
Um,
one of the coolest moments of my life was when I realized that my kids were singing Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers in the back seat.
it's amazing. Yeah.
We're just driving.
Yeah.
We're just driving, and suddenly I realized that the last DJ was the new album
Yeah, yeah,
at the time, and it was actually that song that they were singing. So that song's playing, and I suddenly realized that my daughter's singing like every word. She's like 5. And she's singing every word of that song. And admittedly, there's some words in that song that maybe it would have been better if she wasn't singing, but whatever.
yeah. That's okay. Yeah.
And my son, who's like 2, so I'm hearing my daughter, there goes the last DJ. And my son will chime in, DJ, DJ.
And see now, and that's a beautiful family moment, right? Yeah. I
Exactly.
hope to have that one
Exactly.
day. I hope to have
So
that.
I'm certain you'll have all sorts of family moments. I
Yeah.
congratulate you and your wife. Have a blast. I can't wait to hear more stories. For Michael Torma, this has been 22 Panels. We will see you after the next page.